Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get to glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
How you doing, everyone? Welcome back to Tottenham Away, the channel you all love to be a part of. Even those that pretend they don't, they watch us. We know you watch us. Guys, thanks for being here. As always, smash a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Tonight, have your say or hide online. That's right. Speak up, man up, or forever be a chicken. So tonight, hopefully we'll have some people come on. You can speak about whatever you want related to Tottenham, football, agree, disagree. Everything is welcome. Everything will be respected unless you get personal, of course. And no talking about families or people's wives, please. So let's quickly say hello to everyone in the chat, and we will bring on the first guest, who's going to be Stixie. I can see him in the back. Then I can see the Danalist. He'll be second. Big up, Tony. Hope you're doing well. Jammy Git, how you doing? Big up, Stel, and everyone. Leave you out. Yes. Always Jonas. We've got Tommy G in the house. Where is the past live stream? Yeah, so basically, I had to remove the video. I'll tell you what happened. Okay. You know me. I never lie. I always say it as it is. So during the video, the show Monday, I used a 7-second video of someone slapping someone's bum to say that Bentancur was dominating one of Man United's midfielders. Like, basically, he just got bitch slapped. Yeah. Unfortunately, everyone saw it as banter, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, there's a couple of people out there that are a little bit woke and a little bit sensitive, and it's deemed as violence. Okay. It's called slapstick comedy, literally slapstick. So the best thing was to remove it in case we get another Paddy that tries to take down the channel. So I removed it. That was the best thing for the channel. Otherwise, we'll just get beaten with a stick of hate and horror. So there's the reason why I took it down, guys. Anyone who watched the show, you'll know what I'm talking about because you would have seen it. And you would have been part of the group of us that laughed. Big up Howling Mad, Murdoch. Hope you're doing well. Language Angels, hello. Breakdown, Shakedown. No clips from the Diddy part. Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you think that clip was from the Diddy party? It might have been, JJ, how you doing? Robert, hope you're doing well. We've got Sammy. Big up to you and the boys as always. Swifty in the house. What a legend. Shakedown. Dan G, big up to you as always, my man. We've got the sheriff in the house. He'll be policing everything. No pun intended. Tom's in the building. Hello, Paul. Language Angels, channel member. Big up to you guys as always. Nige, Pure Coys, big up to you. JJ. We've got Jano. How you doing? Come on, have your say if you think you're hard enough. Yeah, come and have your say. Everyone's welcome. Most people shit the bed, though. Eugene, big up, brother. George, how you doing? LSPI, big up still, big up to you. Ronan the Scassa in the house. How you doing, Ronan? Big up, Sue. Big fan of the channel, Sue is. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's bring on Dino. But before we do, let me put up the banner. There's a banner I'm supposed to be using tonight for the show. Yeah. Has anyone seen Charlie THFC? Chicken alert. This guy's got plenty to say about me on Twitter. Lots of lies, lots of manipulation. I've told him twice, come on the channel and speak. Stop hiding. Nothing. Is he here tonight? Well, he's got a couple of hours to show himself. But we all know he won't because he's a pussy-o. Hopefully he comes on and tells me he's not. What's up, Stixie? Dean, you all right?
You're all right, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not bad. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Good to see you a couple of weeks back in the pub. Well, a week or so ago.
Yeah, that was a good day, that. The sun was out. We had a few drinks. That was nice.
Yeah. It was good. And obviously we had a good result after letting the goal first in, which was an absolute screamer on as part of it, point of view. I must say. He seems a bit of a player, that fella. But yeah, I don't know whether we turned a bit of a corner. Obviously, we played Brentford, Coventry, which is championship team. And even then, I think probably we might have been lucky to come out of that, to be fair. But we looked to have played well at the weekend, although it was a pretty poor performance by Man United's point of view. But I have to say that first goal we scored was magnificent from Van der Ven's point of view, with a run and Johnson at the back post. And I think the man of the match was not Van der Ven, it was Kulu, to be fair.
Yeah, Kulu had a great game. To be honest with you, Stixie, I thought everyone except for Timo Werner and Bergvall, who only came on for a little bit, I thought everyone but those two, especially Werner, had a really good game.
I think if probably Sonny was in that left foot, we might have had a couple more goals.
Yeah.
When he ran for on, I thought he ain't going to score. and you must have been in the crowd. You must have been absolutely going nuts because I just can't get over him. He just can't bloody score. Can he? He can score at a brothel. It's incredible.
Before the game, we were outside Old Trafford. I was with Ian and Johnny, and we saw the team lineup. We saw that Timo Werner was starting, and I had a hissy fit. I was just effing and blinding, and they're like, calm down, calm down. We haven't played yet. I said, I don't care. I don't want to pay money to see him play. I can't stand Werner and me. It's chalk and cheese, right? And they go to me, he's going to score the winner today. And I said, this is exactly what I said to them. I said, no, he's not. No, he's not. I said to them, this is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to get a one-on-one chance and he's going to completely botch it up. And he did it twice. He did it
twice.
I literally told them what he was going to do. Man,
It was
you know
gilt-edged, they were absolute gilt-edged chances. And the trouble was, he you know, he didn't do the keep with his eyes or anything like that, did he? He needs to be put onto the training field and practice finishing, for Christ's sake. I mean,
too old. He's too old. He's too old for all that. You're supposed to, but by 30, you're going to be a master of that. You're supposed to be a specialist in that, you know.
Who would you have put in there apart from him?
I would have put Ange Postecoglou ahead of him. I would have put Ange on the pitch ahead of T. Listen, I don't care. Mikey Moore, Bergvall, move one of the midfielders into the wide area and put one of the youngsters in midfield. Anything. Honestly, I would have done anything but start him. I think he's atrocious. He had a stinker against Coventry, right? An absolute stinker. He got off. We start him against Man United, and you know, this is what I was saying. When we signed him, and I had this big problem with him re-signing, my issue was this. Any player you sign, they're going to get minutes, right? Especially a player of his age. They're going to get minutes. And if he gets minutes, he's going to cost us. And he did cost us because it should have been 5-6-0. Because of him, it wasn't. Now, because of him, we almost went out against Coventry City in the cup. Not just him, but others. But he was part of that problem. And he's going to get game time again. And at some point, Dean, he will cost us. And this is why I don't want him at the club. I don't want players that are going to cost us. And that's how I look at Timo Werner. I don't look at it as a player who's going to develop, improve. I think he's absolute shit. His time.
I'll speak to my.
His time was ages ago. He was good 4 or 5 years ago. He's done.
I was speaking to my Chelsea mate last week because he's cotton hoop in a minute with Palmer, which Palmer's a good player, isn't he?
Good player,
he seems to think they're going to win the league. I thought, well, I don't think you're going to do that, but still, didn't want to get into that argument because we'll end up having a real bad argument over our teams. But anyway, he said that's why we got rid of him because he's shit. He can't finish. I said, can't finish. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, the gilt-edged chances he misses is incredible. I mean, I don't like slagging our own players off, but Jesus Christ. I'd certainly have somebody else in there who's got a bit of pace and at least is going to have a go. You know what I mean? But the test is going to come. Let's go a step forward a little bit still. The test is going to come, obviously, this weekend. We've got Brighton away because they're a good side at home, aren't they? And obviously, the big game is City at home in the Cup because I can't see us putting a second-rate back for that game. He's going to definitely put a first 11 out for that game. One would assume that he would.
Do you know what, Dean? Let's check something. I think it depends.
The tickets ain't come out yet, has they? I've been looking for the tickets.
No. I think it depends on the fixtures around that game. All right, so, okay. We've got Crystal Palace away. 2 o'clock kickoff.
Sunday before.
3 days before. Right, on a Sunday, So 3 days later, we've got Man City. And then 3 days after that, we've got Aston Villa. So I do think he's going to rest players because that's 3 games in 1 week. He can't play he's not going to play the 14. And then 4 days after Villa, we've got Galatasaray away. And then we come back and we've got Ipswich 3 days after that. So we've literally got, Dean, I'll tell you what, it starts with West Ham. So West Ham, Alkmaar, Palace,
away.
City, Villa, Galatasaray, and Ipswich. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 7 games in 2.5 weeks. He's going to have to.
Right. Okay. So what I want to say to you is that you've been in coaching, blah blah blah, and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Dean? Hello, mate. I think you're frozen. Dean, listen, come back and I'll bring you back in. I'm going to bring in someone else because you've frozen, all right? So let's bring on the Spurs Danalist. How you doing, Dan? You all right?
Hello, Stel, mate. How you doing?
I'm
Big up to
surviving, man.
everyone watching. Big up to everybody in the chat. Hope everyone's having a good evening.
Big up, big up. Yeah, how you been, man? How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. A lot happier after the weekend.
Listen, it was a great result. Dean, I can see you in the back. I'll bring you back on after Dan, all right? Yeah, listen, fully deserved. There's only one winner in that game. There's only one team in that game. No ifs or buts. Spurs were by far miles ahead of Man United on the day.
Now you've let there's been a bit of time now to let the dust settle. How are you feeling about Spurs right now?
I've been here before, okay? And I'm not a knee-jerk fan where, Johnson's got 4 in 4. He scored against Coventry, a championship team, carrier bag from Azerbaijan, Brentford, who are 12th, and United, who are 13th. Do I think he's done anything great? I think from the criticism he's got, he didn't let it get to him. So you've got to give him plenty of praise for that. Do I think he's a top player? Do I think, he's proving everyone wrong? No. That's the worst Man United team I've seen ever, Dan. If I'm being honest, I'm just being honest, right? Because you asked me. I think that's the worst Man United team I've ever seen. I spoke to a couple of Man United fans up there, and they said to me, we've never seen a team this bad at Man United before. They've got some of the worst defensive stats in the league right now. And there was no different for me watching us play them than when we played Everton. I saw the same crap. I put them on a level with Everton, that performance. You could say that Spurs did that to them and they created that. Some of that has to be true. It has to be. The way we press, the way we move the ball, the way we create chances, you can't say, oh, that's just because Man United are shit. No. But that's not a Man United team that tested us one bit. And I don't think it's all because we're this brilliant football team. I don't buy that. I think after 6 games, there's an argument to say that maybe we've turned a corner, we're going in the right direction. But I've been here before. I mean, after 10 games last year, we were winning the league. We had the best start to a league season ever in the history of the Premier League, in Tottenham's history, blah, blah, blah. Look, we've got the games coming now. Midweek, weekend, midweek, weekend. There's going to be a lot of rotation. Let's see how we go. If at Christmas we're in the top 4 or knocking on the door top 4 and we progressed through to next round of the Europa Cup, we're through to the Carabao Cup quarters or semis, whatever round it is, then I'll hold up my hands and say, do you know what? I haven't been here before. I got it all wrong. After 10 games will be a good barometer, but I'm not jumping on no bandwagon like a lot of fans are jumping on right now. It's almost like they haven't learned from last season and they haven't learned from the past and they've all just gone. That's it. We've arrived. This is it. Everything's making sense. And all the Levy out, all the Ange people that question him, all those that question Solankis and Johnsons and Werners, you're all in the mud, you're in the mud after 6 games. Okay. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I haven't moved my position on it at all. The only teams I've seen that actually played well against us in terms of being defensively solid and had something about them to prevent us from really, having clear-cut chances were Newcastle and Arsenal, and they both beat us. They both beat us. What Coventry did to us, we can't just pretend that never happened. But look, we've got 10 points. I think we're only 6 points off the top, something like that. So
5, yeah,
let's see.
5 points.
5 points, yeah. So let's see. But I'm not jumping the gun. I think way too many people have gone early. And this is what we did last year after 10 games. Instead of going after 10 games, everyone's gone after 6 this time. After 6 games, that's it. We're mustard. We're the real deal. So let's see. What about you? How do you feel?
Listening to you, you're nowhere convinced yet. And I get that. Totally understand. Now, that Man United performance was, it was shocking. Did we make them look bad? I think we did, partly, of course.
Yeah,
that early goal, obviously really helped because it just kind of threw their game plan, didn't it? And they just didn't know what to do. I mean, fantastic result. Yes, celebrate it, but I think the celebration time's over now, and we really need to push on in the games coming up. Now, how I see it, yes, praise Ange, yes, praise the players, great performance, good win. It's always a good win going up to Old Trafford, and you know, like I was saying to you last week, Stal, that we needed to get a win against the top 10 team. So we did. So fair play. Yeah, we got it. Now, it doesn't stop there. There's a lot more to prove. And I still have my concerns. I'm not convinced yet. I'm the sort of person, Stel, is I need to see it. And like you, it's got to be done over a period of games. Now, what I want from Spurs now, yeah, I want them to win on Thursday. And then I want them to go to Brighton and win. And now I've been looking into Brighton. Their form's very indifferent. I think there's a winnable game. I still have the concerns about being clinical. The evidence was there on Sunday. How many chances we needed? It's the same pattern as the game against Brentford. So I think we will see against Brighton. Brighton are not going to give us as many chances as Man United did. I'm sure of that. Brighton are going to hold on to the ball more. They're going to have more possession. They're going to be up for it. It's a big game for Brighton. So it's not an easy game. So let's see how we get on in that game. I think we can win. But the clinicalness, it has to improve. And we can see it today over social media. All these stats coming out. Stats after stats after stats. Porro's the best at this. Maddison's the best at that. It's all great, these stats, but we need to put them in to more wins. Win at Brighton, then we have the international break. We play West Ham at home, win that, and then I think we go away to Villa. We've got to get a result there. So we've got to keep on building the momentum, keep the wins. Yeah, look, if we get the odd draw or even the odd loss, fine, it happens, yeah? Depends on the state of the game. So that's what I'm thinking. I really hope we're going to push on now. And I think that's fair, and I think that's sensible.
We definitely have to get some consistency going. We definitely have to push on so that we can prove it's not just, you know, a flash in the pan. I think Brighton's going to be an interesting one because they play with a very high line as well. You saw against Nottingham Forest, the equaliser, the way they got in behind. I actually think the way Brighton plays suit us. And they are forever always trying to play at the back, a bit like us. And we've probably got one of the best pressing games in the league right now. So I actually think we should really be doing Brighton. Having watched the Brighton-Chelsea game, this could be a cricket score because Brighton, for me, are definitely better attacking-wise than what Man United were.
Battle of the high line stuff.
Well,
I
kind of did this comical graphic here of this is going to be the game Brighton v Spurs, right? Everyone's just up there on the halfway line. It's going to be an interesting game for sure, but I think we probably will edge it because I'm watching the way Brighton play at the moment, and I think they play to the way that suits us. By the way, to all the cretins and all the lemmings in the chat that want to talk about my family and women and abusing and disabled people and all these wonderful things you want to throw at me, there's a link at the top of the chat. Click on it. Come on and debate your footballing points and present your evidence of all these crimes I've committed, okay? So here's a chance. Come and show the world your evidence or come and talk about football. Otherwise, all I'm going to do is ban you from the channel and you end up with egg on your face. And I know it's this man that's probably behind a lot of it, which is why I'm going to put his name back up. Charlie, whenever you're ready, come on. Sorry, Dan, but I do have to keep control of the chat a little bit.
Sure, I understand.
Well, this is the name of the show, you see. Look, have your say or hide online. And what they're doing is they're hiding online, right? And they don't like it. They don't like it now because I'm drawing them out. It's up to them. Show your face or forever hide. Yeah, look, you're right, Dan. Everything you say, I agree with, man. Everything you said, I agree with. Consistency is now the key. But I do feel that Brighton game, I think we're the favourites to be honest with you now. Just watch. I know they're above us in the league, so technically we should say, hold on, but they're a really good team. They are a good team. They are. But I also feel that the way they play suits us. I think it suits our way of playing. I don't think they're gonna adapt just because we're playing them.
Have you noticed the differences in Brighton this season to under De Zerbi? Have you noticed any changes in how they play?
I think they're definitely more risky playing out from the back than what they were under De Zerbi. I mean, they're forever playing out from the back. Even when it's not working, they still do it. A bit like us, actually, at times. But they do have a couple of players that I think are better up front or in the attacking areas than what they had last season. The two players they've signed. One of them was from last season. I forgot his name, the South American lad who he scored. They've also signed a striker who looks quite good as well. So I do think they've got some slightly better players. Also, they signed the boy from Celtic who got injured after a couple of games. He's good, but he hasn't played for them yet. But otherwise, they're just a bit more. No, they're similar to De Zerbi's team. In fact, I think they're similar. I don't think they're too far off.
Also going to say about Brighton now. Their form has been indifferent, haven't they? They, like you said, Nottingham Forest got a draw there. Oh, I've gone. Have I lost you still?
No, I can hear you.
I've been thrown off. I don't know what's happened. I can see you, but can't see myself. But anyway, can you see me?
I can hear you. Let me remove you and bring you back in 1 minute. Yeah, your camera's gone now.
Sorry.
Dan, log out and log back in. I'll bring you back in, all right? Log out and log back in. Let's take a couple of comments while we wait for Dan to come back. Burnt Toast says, knee-jerk is knee-jerk, whether it's positive or negative still. Not really, because I've got 25 years worth of evidence to suggest the things that I believe in. I think 25 years is not knee-jerk. A year or so with one manager is knee-jerk. So I totally disagree with you, Burnt Toast. Maybe you've got to rethink that one. Let's bring back Dan. Is he there? There he is.
Don't know what happened there. I think my laptop had an update and it just threw me out.
They're trying to sabotage the show, Dan. They're trying to sabotage the show. Yeah. So
listen,
go for it.
Brighton, it's a game where we're going to have chances again. And are we going to be clinical? Because that's what it's all going to come down to again. And Brighton will create chances. I think we have got a better team than Brighton player to player. We are playing with a bit of confidence now. So I'm really hoping for a win at Brighton, definitely. But we'll see.
I actually think we probably will beat them because the way they play, Dan, like I said, I think it suits us. Any team that gives us space in behind, we've got the pace. Even though Werner is absolute shit, if he was to just get one half-decent cross into a player, we've got a good chance of scoring, and he's got pace. I mean, he's spun the link for pace many a time against Man United. Johnson, he's got pace on the other side. Solanke links up the play well. If Son's back as well, I just feel we've got enough to give us space in behind. We will cause most teams problems. And I think that's exactly what Brighton.
Perfect opponent then still, right? Perfect opponent.
I think so.
For us.
I think so, Dan. I do.
I think do so much better against teams who give us space, like we saw against Manchester United. Now, when we're talking about Werner, he's holding us back still. That guy, I don't want to see him. And how long is it going to take for Ange to realise that he's not going to be the guy? Do you reckon, Stel, he'll maybe a couple more games and then he'll realise? Because there's Mikey Moore there, ready to come on. And I'm surely he will do a lot better than Werner. Werner, I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know what it is with him. He does all the good work up until the final third, and then he just can't finish. He had 3-4 chances. And I really think Werner's holding us back as a team. I mean, if we had Son the other day, then Son would have put 2 or 3 of them away. So yeah, I just getting frustrated with this Werner. It's a weird one. I don't know why he re-signed. Strange.
Mate, listen, I don't rate Werner. I said it from day one. I keep saying it. Even if he scores a goal, even if he gets one good assist, which he's got in him, he got 1 or 2 goals last season. He got a couple of assists. He's not incapable of doing any of that. But there's no way he's going to give us what we need in the way we play this team that we play. The style that we play. For me, listen, I'll tell you this, Dan. I'm not even convinced by Johnson. I know everyone's gone mad. He silenced these critics. Turn up in more than 20% of games against the top 20, and then you've silenced me, because that's my criticism.
And Johnson, to me, you have to say fair play to him. Yeah, he's got 4 goals in 4 games. You know, you've got to praise him and praise his due. But again, is it just a purple patch? And we'll find out, won't we, over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 games? Is he going to keep that consistent? Look, he's not going to score in every game. That's not fair, you know. But you know, is he gonna keep it going? We'll see. We'll see.
Look, when the pressure comes, let's see what we're made of. Because when the pressure came last year, last 10 games, we melted. And we pretty much had all our players back then. So the time will come. I'm just not jumping on this.
I've got a question for you before I forget. What about this the fullbacks now? And I've had a look at the heat maps. They're definitely not inverting as much. And I think that's giving Maddison and Kulu, or especially Maddison, a lot more space to work. Have you had a look into that still at all? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, he has adapted it. Which is exactly what we were saying. So the things that we were saying, he did. So it goes to prove that we do know a thing or two, right? We're not blind. He's done it. Will he keep it up? I hope he does, because I think we're better for it. We're much, much better for it. His inverted fullback system is one of the reasons we didn't get top 4 last season. Yeah. His system cost us top 4 last season. So if he does keep it like it is now, then props to Ange for adapting it. I hope that he keeps it as it is, with the fullbacks not both inverting.
Yeah, and it's a massive difference. Look at Maddison the last couple of games in the Premier League against Brentford and Manchester United. He's much more involved. Just give him the time, give him the space to work his magic. And Kulusevski as well, Stel. I don't know about you, but he's really impressed me last couple of games. And I really like that combination in the midfield there, Maddison and Kulu. I like that midfield with Bentancur. I think it's looking good there. I like it, and we'll see. Let's see if that keeps going. Again, it's probably a bit too early to get carried away, but the signs are good.
Time will tell, Dan. Time will tell. But listen, brother, as always, thank you for coming on. I'm going to bring on the next chap. I think Teslim's in the back waiting. North London Narratives, Mr. Sholanke. Let's bring him on. Dan, listen, you have a good one, and we'll speak soon. Yeah, thanks for coming on as always, Dan.
No worry, man. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Top man, Dan. Big up to him. Always a good voice to listen to when it comes to Spurs. Balanced and reasonable. Has anyone seen Charlie's? He turned up yet? I'm still waiting, Charlie. Of course, he's not going to turn up because he's a keyboard warrior that hides behind his Twitter account. Check it. Teslim, your camera's crashed. Log out and log back. He's there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you on the space? Are you on the African space station again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me clearly?
I can hear you, yes. I can hear you.
All right. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you, man? How are you? You good?
Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between, actually. I'm actually very happy to be here today, because throughout, since the United win, I've been very, 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 very excited, very happy. And I had a conversation with myself because obviously I'm a Tottenham fan. Before anything, like when you watch a game like that and you see how comprehensively we beat them, it's like, okay, we might be on something here. But then I remembered last season, and the thing is, last season I got very excited. I was talking about, oh my god! In hindsight, I feel like an absolute idiot. But I told my friend who is a City fan that our team will go head to head with theirs, like our first 11. And looking back at that now, it's like, yeah, that was crazy. So now I want us to actually open these performances and actually go into them deeply. Brennan Johnston has scored 4 goals in 4 games, right? Still, are you with me?
Mhm.
Are you with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Brennan
I can
Johnston has
hear
scored.
you. I
Brennan
can hear
Johnston,
you.
all right, all right, all right. Brennan Johnston has scored 4 goals in 4 games, and I've never had a problem with Brennan when he has to run in behind a defense. My problem with Brennan has always been that Brennan doesn't know how to dribble. Brennan doesn't know how to break down a low block. More times than not, playing this system, we're going to have to break down low blocks because the way we play, we keep the ball. And because we keep the ball, we force teams to stay compact. If that makes sense, we force them to get into shape until they are able to get the ball and then break on us. If that makes sense. And in the games we've played, all the goals he's scored have had the same pattern. It hasn't been against a low block. United, I thought it was absolutely stupid of them. There's a template to play sports. I don't know why they didn't follow the template. I don't know why they didn't just sit back and then use their super fast wingers. I don't know why they didn't do that. But they didn't do it. The same thing as Brentford. Brentford that I thought would basically sit in a low block. I think they're trying to change how they play now. So I have no problem with Brennan when he has to run in behind. My problem with him is his dribbling. He can't take on a man. That is my concern with Brennan Johnson. And as good as it is to have won 4 games in 4, and this is my rational side talking now. I'm leaving out all emotions out of it. I'm leaving out the fact that I'm a Tottenham fan. That's out of it now. This is me speaking as objectively as possible. Yes, we've won 4 in 4, but let's be real. Who have we actually played? And I know people will say, "Oh, United," but if you guys have watched United this season, you know that, genuinely speaking, we've not really played anybody. We played Coventry, we played Karabakh, we played Brentford that basically spread their legs for us, and we played Manchester United. So we've not really like we've never had a problem with teams that come at us. Our problem has always been when we have to break down a low block. That's where our problem has always come. And I feel like, obviously, at a point in time, after the win, I was excited and I was starting to lose myself as well. But I feel like a lot of fans are getting carried away. Like, obviously, it's nice, but now I want to see us do it against a low block. I want to see us do it against better teams. Like, you get what I'm saying? Not just Karabakh, Brentford. I want to see us do it for a whole season. Madison is playing well so far. We saw this last season. We've seen this before. Can he do it for a whole season? Can he do it for 2 seasons? Can he do it for 5 seasons? That's what I want to see, consistency and doing it in the situations that we've not been able to do it before. So yeah, basically, let me know your thoughts on all that. Sir.
I don't disagree with too much of what you've said. By the way, Burnt Toast, rather than just making up all this stuff in your head on making things up in the chat, here's the link. Come on, it's at the top of the chat. Come on the show. Put up or shut up. Otherwise, you're another online coward that just hasn't got the minerals or the ability to actually debate what you say in the chat. I think, Teslim, that Spurs played exceptionally well on the day, right? I think we played superbly. I've said it many, many, many times. And you can't take away the way we played. We were brilliant, except for Timo Werner, who I'm not going to give any credit to. I thought he was shit. But Man United were awful, man. They were shocking. They got in behind us 3 or 4 times in the first half, and Rashford ran the ball off the pitch. No shot, no cross. And I'm looking at Rashford thinking, wow, you are awful. And he had space and he had the pace because he beat us. He was in. His end product was just as bad as Timo Werner. He's literally the Manchester version of Timo Werner. That's how I saw. I thought Garnacho was their only threat. Midfield, we own them. So you just got to say our midfielders are better quality. And that's not because Man United are shit. That's because our recruitment is better. So I've got to praise Levy, Paratici, and that recruitment is better. Maddison, Bentancur, Kulu in the middle was much better than what they had to offer us. Bruno got sent off. It wasn't a red card. So they've come out today and they've...
Yeah, I think that was...
They've appealed the red card and they've won. So the red card decision... Well, no, it's not. It's been turned over. Look.
I know it was, yeah. At first, I didn't think it was a red, but seeing how high it went, even though he slipped, we saw the exact same thing happen to
Teslim, 1 minute. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. They've looked at it again. They've said, we got it wrong. We've turned it over. So they went down to 10 men at 1-0. We saw in the second half, they rallied a little bit. What would have happened with 11 men? I don't know. But we only play what's in front of us, and there's only 10 men. Going to Old Trafford and winning isn't something new, by the way. We've won there 5 times in 12 years. It's not this big, oh, we can't do it. We've done it 5 times in 12 years. But I'm not taking anything away from Spurs. I thought we did our job. And if Son was on the pitch, it would have been 6-0. We would have battered them. You know what? The last time we scored lots of goals at Old Trafford was with Mourinho. We beat them 6-1. They went down to 10 men in that game as well. So for me, I agree with what you're saying, but I don't want to take anything away from Spurs. I don't want to say Spurs don't deserve it. We 100% deserved it because we put our foot on the gas and we put our foot on their throat and we kept it on their throat for most of the game. Burnt toast, I can see you in the background. You need to turn your camera on. I'm not bringing on a random person called Burnt Toast. Camera on or sorry. That's not how it works, man. But yeah, that's my thinking, Teslim. That's my thinking, Teslim. You know.
So what are your thoughts on the fans' reaction after the game? Because I've seen a lot of people go like, "We're back," this, that, and I was like that until I had to calm myself down. Like, I'm a Tottenham fan. Like, calm down. We've been here before. Like, you get what I'm saying? We've been here before. So, what are your thoughts on the fans' reaction, basically?
I thought the fans' reaction was of fans who are happy to see their team win, fans who are happy to see their team put in a fantastic performance, fans who are happy to win at one of the biggest stadiums in world football, fans who are happy to just beat Manchester United, right? The brand is big. We beat them, man. So I think fans were super happy. But I've been like this for a long time, Teslim. I'm very grounded with what I see. I don't get carried away. I don't get overhyped. Do you know what impresses me? Do you know what will impress me? Go win a trophy and then I'll be impressed. Because Juan de Ramos, he won a trophy. Poch got to 2 finals. Didn't win a trophy, but he got us to 2 finals. Mourinho got us to a final. If Ange gets us to a final, I'll be impressed to get to the final. If he wins it, listen, hats off to him. I'll eat humble pie. I'll take everything I've said back. I'll let everyone come on and rinse me, cuss me. That's what will impress me. I've seen us beat Man United at Old Trafford. I've seen us beat Arsenal. I've seen us do well against teams like that. I need to see Spurs win silverware. For me, silverware is the only thing that I will be happy with, you know, because that's the only thing I care about now. I've seen everything else. I've seen us play Champions League final, European football, beat the big teams, beat the small teams, have great atmosphere. I've experienced it all. I need trophies, man. That will impress me. Because at the end of the season, if we end up with no trophies, who cares? what are we doing here? Why are we spending all this money on players for what? So I think fans' reaction in general are more, they're just happy to see Spurs play good football. But I've said this all along, Teslim. Most Spurs fans just want to be entertained. Trophies, if we don't win any trophies, but they're entertained, 90% of Spurs fans will say brilliant. That's what it's all about. That's not me. I'm in the minority. I'm in the small minority of fans. I don't care about style performance anymore. I just want silverware. If we get both, brilliant. We're Man City, right? Because Man City give you entertaining football and they win trophies. I want trophies, but I know I'm in the minority with this. I know most fans just want a good day out, some drinks. We had fun together as friends. The football was entertaining. That's what most fans want. I've done that. I've been there. I've done that for 25, 30 years. I need to see something different. So fans are different in how they feel after that game. Most fans will just be happy that they were entertained. I think that's what most fans will take from the game.
Okay. So personally, this is me speaking about myself now. I feel like because of my emotional attachment to Tottenham and finally seeing us do well, finally seeing our players, our team going on a sort of run, you can only beat what's in front of you, like you said. But I'm starting to, how do I put it? I'm starting to trust the manager more. But then my brain is telling me, yo, calm down and wait till you play low blocks. Wait till you play the better team. So where are you on that? Like, do you feel like you've seen anything in these performances that make you think, yeah, we might be onto something? We might still be far from it, but like there are some green shoots basically.
I think we're a very good team that goes forward when you give us space and time. I think any team that gives us space and time, we're going to cause you havoc. It's all down to whether we convert our chances. I think we'll create chances. I think we'll create big chances as well. I think the XG will only go up for us as the games go on. And I think Spurs are a team that a lot of clubs will be scared of. However, if the team adapts to us in a low block and plays counter-attacking football and they've got fast, wide players and someone that can score, I think we're in trouble. And it's been proven all season long. We still don't know how to deal with that. So the question is going to be, when we're in a big game, let's say a Europa Cup quarter-final or an FA Cup semi-final, and the other team tactically sets up in a way that we know we struggle against, is Ange going to adapt the way we play in that one game just to get us over the line? Or are it's who we are, mate. This is what we do. Time will tell. Time will tell. I can't answer that now. No one can. But that moment's going to come, Teslim. Mark my words, that game will come, and then we'll see if this manager's a winner or if he's someone that just says all the right things and the fans fall in love with it. So I'm glad we're winning. I'm glad we're playing good football. I've been here before. I've been here before 1,000 times. I need a hell of a lot to make me change my mind. A hell of a lot. Let's see. 6 games. We're still, what, 8th? You know? We're 8th. Yeah. But it's only 6 games.
Are you saying,
I think we're going to move up the table. I don't think we're going to sit 8th for many weeks.
Are you saying that you're going to wait to see if he's willing to adapt before you start believing more in him or believing in him at all? That's basically the summary of what you're saying there?
No, I need to see that we're doing something different to what I've seen before. By the way, Burnt Toast, you're in the background again, and you've just private messaged me to say it doesn't allow you to turn your camera on. It lets every other guest turn their camera on. So come on, man. Let's not play this game. Go to the settings. Your camera will turn on, right?
There's literally a camera beside mute. There's camera beside mute. Camera beside your mic.
Come on, man. Let's not do these games. How convenient, all right? Yeah, look, Teslim, I told you. I need to see something different, man. You know? I need to see something different.
Fair enough. Because I feel like I'm starting to warm towards it. But it's easy to buy into something when everything is going good. And I just want to chill and see us against low blocks. Like, and that's what I was excited to see against Brentford. That's what I thought Manchester United would do. But they disappointed me because I was really excited to see us against a team like Manchester United sitting back and playing on the counter against us and seeing if we can break them down. Because we like if you come, there are very few teams that can go with them head to head. Like coming at us, there are very few teams that can go against us. But if you sit down in a low block, that's where we have a problem. And our wingers are not exactly the best. So that's why I want to see Brennan do. I want to see Brennan break down a low block, get contributions against the low block, not just running in behind.
Brennan can't break down a low block. He hasn't got the skills.
That's exactly what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. And
Nor
I
can
want
Werner, nor can Solanke, nor can Son. No one. We haven't bought players that can break a low block. So any team that low blocks us, we're in trouble. As long as teams give us the space behind, we'll win games. I'm not worried about us playing those types of teams. So,
but you know the thing. You know the thing. And this is what I find confusing. I feel like last season, in those first 10 games, I feel like we did break down low blocks. The one I can remember vividly was was it Sheffield where we scored those 2 late goals. I think Kulu Richarlison came on and got a goal and an assist. I believe. Was it Sheffield?
Which game was this again?
I think it was Sheffield. When we won 2-1. We scored 2 late goals.
Sheffield United. Kulusevski scored the winner.
Yes. Yeah. That game, I've seen us break down low blocks, but I feel like it all depends, and that's why I feel like I'm buying into this thing slowly because last season we played with someone like Isao who is not creative, but having Kulu and Madison there, I feel like gives us more creativity because our wingers are not good enough to break down low blocks. So I feel like that's why I'm buying into it, and I believe it's going to work. I believe it can work now. It's just a matter of can we take our chances, which is why I did want to see us against the low block, if that makes sense. Like, if you get what I'm saying.
You know, I totally get it. If teams give us space in behind and we've got a fully fit squad, we will take chances. We will. There's no doubt. I agree with you.
Yeah, basically.
It's where the teams have got the intelligence to set up in a way to stifle us. If they don't, then it's a tough day for them. I think we're going to cause a lot of teams problems, you know. Yeah, but let's see when it comes to the crunch and we get to those cup semi-finals, quarterfinals, when we play the really tough teams. Let's see what happens then, because that's the real test of how good the manager is, the players, the system. That's the real test. That's where we've been before under Mourinho, under Conte, under Poch, under Redknapp, and it failed, and it always failed. That's what needs to change. If that doesn't change, then we enjoyed some good football. It was entertaining.
I have one last question. Before I go. After that game, do you feel more positive going into the City game?
Do I think?
Do you feel more positive? Like, do you feel like we actually might have a chance? Like, because this is City without Rodri, mind you.
Right. Pep said that they're going to play a weakened squad, right? So if they play a weakened squad, that gives us a big chance. But what we have to do is play a strong squad. I want to remind you, there was the year we won the Carabao Cup, we played Arsenal in the semi-finals, and they came to our ground and it was evens. But they played a slightly weakened squad. I think he played a couple of kids. They had a few injuries. We played a full-strength squad. Arsenal were a better team than us, but they had a slightly weakened squad. We went full strength. We beat them, I think it was 4-1. 4 or 5-1 that day. I was there. Oh, my God, man.
I have no clue what you're talking about because I was like,
okay. My point is,
2004.
all right, my point is we played a top team who came with a slightly weakened team, and because we went full strength, we battered them, got to the cup final, and then we won the cup. That's the last time we won a cup. If Man City come with a weakened team, we must go full strength because we'll beat them. If we rotate as well, what we're saying is, Man City, we're actually going to give you a chance here. You're playing your B team, but we're giving you a chance. You don't want to do that, man. We don't want to be doing that. So I hope he goes, it was 5-1, Angus. Yeah, the Gooner. Of course you don't forget, because you got whooped that day. It's not often we whoop you, but we whooped you that day. If City come with a weakened team, Teslim, we've got to go full strength, brother. We have to throw everything we've got at it, man. Because if we don't...
So you think we have a chance? You think we have a chance? If they come with a weaker...
If they play a weak team and we go full strength, I think we win. I think we beat them.
In fact,
I'm confident we'll beat them. Huh?
What if they go full strength? You don't think we have a chance?
If they go full strength? No, I think no, I don't. I think
even without Rodri, you don't think we have a chance?
Bro, it's Manchester City, 4 times Premier League champion. we're not playing Southampton, bro. It's Manchester City. It's one of the best teams in world football.
Oh my God!
Listen, of course we've got a chance, right? We've got a chance against anyone, but this is the best of the best, the creme de la creme, right? I'm just.
Should I tell you why I actually believe we have a chance? Should I tell you why I believe? Should I tell you why I believe? Yeah, the reason why I believe we have a chance is because of that game towards the end of the season, last season. You remember the game where we lost 2-0? When if we had beaten them, Arsenal could have won the league, and the fans and the whole back and forth. That game, I genuinely feel like we played way better than Manchester City. The difference between us and them was the attackers. If we had a decent attack, if we had, at the very least, Newcastle's attack of when everybody's fully fit, Harvey Barnes, Gordon, and Issa, we win that game. That's why I genuinely believe. And watching that game just made me, because as a sports fan, oddly, I do not fear Manchester City as much as most people. Maybe because we always get the result, or used to get the result against them. So I do not fear them as much as a lot of people do. But I felt like watching that game, and that was at full strength. That was with KDB, that was with Rodri, that was with everybody. So I feel like that just makes me more confident, because I feel like we can give these guys a game, like genuinely speaking. Because I don't know why I feel confident. I just think because it's City, because of what happened last season in the cup. I know that was, I think, the FA Cup, but because of the way they comprehensively beat us, like the way they smacked us, it's giving me memories of the what was the name of that Arsenal documentary where Arsenal got whooped by City in the documentary, and Saka went back into the dressing room. I was talking about how they're
Amazon,
so good.
the Amazon documentary.
Yeah, the Amazon documentary.
All or nothing.
Yeah, all or nothing. And he was talking about how they're so good and all this. And I just feel like if you know, like the players, because the manager keeps on telling them the same thing. And my hope is that after a while, they start to believe it. If you know you want to be the best, you guys have to beat these guys. Yes, they embarrassed us last season. Now go out there and do the same thing to them. That's the kind of mindset I'm going with as a fan. And I hope that's the kind of mindset the players are going with as well. We have to beat these guys because they absolutely embarrassed us last season. And I genuinely don't think City is unbeatable. I don't think it's far-fetched, generally speaking. I don't know why. Maybe because the cup game. If it was in the Premier League, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But in a cup game, a one-off game, why not? Why not? I think it's possible.
Anything's possible in football. Nuno beat Man City 1-0, first game in charge of Tottenham Hotspur a couple of years ago. Anything is possible. But what I'm saying is Pep has come out and said that he could be playing mind games, but he's on record saying that he's going to play a weakened team, his B team. So we must play our full strength team and capitalize. Don't take any risks. If we do that, because look what happened when we put the B team against Coventry. I bet you Man City's B team is better than Coventry. We're going to get pumped. Yeah, but now you're laughing. A minute ago, you're telling me we've got a chance.
Oh
We've got
my
a
God.
chance. So,
Not our B team. Not our B team. No. Not our B team. No. Definitely not our B team. No. Not our B team. No. We don't have a
listen,
touch our B team.
Teslim, brother, I love you as always, man. Before you go, man, listen, we've got a special request.
Sholanke.
You're
You're
a legend.
welcome.
You're the best.
Sholanke.
Man. You're the best,
Thanks, man.
brother. Thank you as
Okay,
always, man.
guys. Bye
Oh,
bye.
make sure you go and follow this man's channel, North London Narratives. There's the link, North London Narratives. Listen, if anyone else wants to jump on, the links at the top of the chat. I just want to show you guys something as well, right? So you can understand what I'm dealing with, okay? So this boy here runs his mouth, him and his mob on social media. They don't come on. They hide behind cameras. Let me show you something so you can understand what I'm dealing with, okay? Whilst I was speaking with Teslim, so when I do YouTube, this is what I see, okay? I see backstage. So on the right-hand side, you can see a private conversation going on. Okay, I took a screenshot during the show. That private chat is where people that come on, they can talk with me. We can talk privately. For example, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I need to go to the toilet, or my camera's not working. That guy burnt toast, right? He thinks he's smart. I know he's part of Charlie's mob. Look at what he said, just so you can understand. Shut up, bro. Fight me. You're a fake Spurs fan. You love Arsenal. Come on, bro. Let me in. Are you scared to let me in the panel? And my reply was, a chicken doesn't turn their camera off, right? He refused to put his camera on. So look what he does. It's all verbal. It's all chest. And then another guy comes in the back called Mike. Look at this. Look at this, guys. I fucked your mum. You're a fool. Your mum is a hoe. Should I accept that? You know, should I tolerate that? I've made it very, very clear. Come and have your say or hide online. And what they're doing is they're hiding online. They come on backstage. I'm typing to them, put your camera on. They won't do it because they know if they put their camera on, they can't verbally give it because now everyone knows what they look like. They want to hide behind their camera. They want to cuss my mom. They want to cuss me. My mum's dead. My mum died 3 years ago, and they're disrespecting a dead woman. This is what I put up with. This is why I came off Twitter, by the way, guys. I deleted Twitter and I deleted Facebook today. A lot of people messaged me and saying, Stel, why have you come off Twitter? I said, because I'm sick of people like this. And people like this do it all the time as well. He's no different, Charlie. People like this Twitter account. They say all these things because they're hiding. They've got a fake name. They've got a fake picture. I can't see what they look like. I don't know who they really are. And they'll cuss my family. They'll cuss my mum. And if I get personal, oh, everyone wants to attack me. Stel's a bully. Stel's this, Stel's that. What about what I'm dealing with? And this is why I'm punching back. So I thought, you know what? There's no point. I'm off Twitter. I'm off Facebook. I don't need it in my life. I'm going to do this. And those that want to question me, want to challenge me, either you come on with your camera, just like the Spurs analyst did, just like Teslim did, just like Stixie did. Come on and debate. But those of you that hide on Twitter and those of you that hide on Facebook and in the comments, you're all cowards. You're chickens, man, all of you. You're nobodies to me. How can I respect you? You hide and you just give me verbal abuse. My mum's dead and you're digging out my mum. Like, it's sickening. And if another channel talks about people's wives or family, that's okay. They're allowed. You know, they're okay. But God forbid Stelios gets personal with anyone abusing him. So listen, that's why I'm not on Twitter anymore. That's why I'm not on Facebook. Not interested. I'm just going to do this. You can see my face. You can hear what I'm saying. You can screenshot this. You can record it. You can hold me accountable. But all these cowards that come on all these channels. Look, there's another one in the back now called Tottenham Forever. If you put your camera on, I'll bring you on. Yeah, he's got his camera on. All right, I'll bring him on. Big up to this guy. This man, I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm going to respect him because he's put the camera on and he wants to chat. So big up Tottenham Forever. How you doing?
Yeah, so, boy. How's things? Yeah, no, I just wanted to have a chat about Tottenham. To be honest, mum.
Good. It's a Tottenham channel. You're in the right place.
Obviously, no, just to start off with, right? Like the Man United result the other day. I'm not really too over hyping that because it was more of an Eric Ten Hag team than it was a Ferguson team, and everyone's not got the idea of like saying, well, we had a good win. Yeah, it was a good win, but it was against not a Alex Ferguson team. It was against a Eric Ten Hag team, in my opinion.
Listen, I don't think any Man United manager can be compared to Sir Alex Ferguson. He's one of the greatest managers of all time. He's an absolute elite level manager. He signed the kind of players that were just outstanding. He had one of the best group of young players to come through the ranks at Academy, through the Manchester Academy in one go. He was an elite level manager. Very few of those managers exist nowadays. Listen, we're talking about arguably the GOAT of football. Swanix, you keep coming in the back, but then you come off. Stay in the back. I'll bring you on next after Tottenham Forever. So I don't think we can compare Ten Hag to Sir Alex Ferguson, but you're right. We weren't playing a Man United team of old. We weren't. Of course not.
True. But then obviously, like, I'm hearing that, we should, by rights tomorrow, we should be beating this Hungarian team. I don't know if they are from Hungary or not, but apparently we're meant to be smashing them tomorrow. By rights, we should be. But realistically, we know what Tottenham are like from the history of Europe. They can play good in the league and then sometimes have one crappy game in the in Europe, and then we just drop 3 points. And it can happen because this is Tottenham we're talking about. This isn't like a Man City or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Look, it all comes down to rotation, Tottenham Forever. We saw when we rotated against Coventry what a disaster it was. We saw against Karabag when you put two slow. Joe, I can see in the background. Stay there, buddy. You're next, okay? Don't go anywhere. We saw against Karabag when you put two centre-backs that aren't fast, Ben Davies and Dragusin. We got caught out and Dragusin ends up getting sent off. So I do, and you saw the amount of chances we gave to Karabag. If they had a finisher, that's a different game. So for me, this is. By the way, Tottenham Forever. What's your real name?
Ryan.
Ryan. Big up, Ryan. Ryan. This is how I look at Spurs. I think we're similar to Poch's team, where we've got a good starting 9 or 10 players. There's a good 9 or 10 players. When they start, you're confident we can give anyone a game. But as soon as we make subs or the B team has to play, we're absolutely rubbish. We're pony. Which is why I didn't want Werner. Which is why, investing in these kids without experience, it wasn't for me. It's why keeping Fraser Forster at the club, shit like that, Ben Davies, I'm against all of it. Because I know we are going to have to rotate this year. And when we rotate, we're going to have problems. At the moment, we're seeing little bits of it. But when we get the injuries, it's going to escalate. And this is what I'm trying to say to people. It's not being negative. I'm trying to put a solid opinion forward and explain why I'm saying this, because I've seen this before. If at the end of the season I'm proven wrong, then listen, fuck me, man. Ange's a genius. Like, the man is literally unbelievably good. So, but I don't look, we should be going into Europe and doing well on Thursday. But if he rotates, that's when you begin to worry, right? Because the chances are the Hungarian team's probably going to go full strength.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm hearing that some people want Vicario to have a rest tomorrow.
Would you? Okay, here's a question for you. Would you be against Vicario having a rest, but either Gunter or Brandon Austin going goal, who looked quite good pre-season? Okay, it's pre-season, but they've got to be better than Fraser Forster, surely. Would you be happy for Vicario to have a break if a youngster got a chance, or no, it's got to be Vicario? I'm not having anyone else.
I'm not against playing youngsters, but just not in goal. I'm against that, but I'm not against playing youngsters. Like, tomorrow, I would rather have Mikey Moore instead of Timo Werner. Any day of the week.
100%. Do you know what, Ryan? I think every Spurs fan would agree with you there. I don't think there's a Spurs fan. If you did a poll right now, Werner or Mikey Moore to start tomorrow, I think 99% of fans will say Mikey Moore. And that 1% of fans would just say it because they just want to be different.
Yeah. It's annoying because, like, and this is what I don't get, Sabbath. I'm calling you Sabbath, sorry, still. It's because I've watched so much of Sabbath lately, so I do apologise.
It's because we're both opinionated.
That's it. But the no, with it still, yeah, right. It's like, I mean, the only time I would play someone like an Austin would be if we had already qualified for the top 8. Then I'm not against that. But I'm against it whilst we're trying to get through to the last 16.
Listen, I fully expect. So in that league table of teams, in the Europa, I fully expect Spurs to finish in the top 8 and automatically qualify. I don't see us I don't see us going through any kind of playoff. I think we finish in that top 8 and we qualify, unless we have major rotation and we underestimate teams we play against.
And that's what I'm worrying about tomorrow still. That is exactly what I'm worried about tomorrow, that we could be underestimating this Hungarian team and we could fully rotate. And that is something I would be literally so concerned about. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm Ange out. I don't want Ange in. But I would be very concerned if he plays anything but, apart from Werner, almost a full squad, and maybe have Will Lancashire in there maybe as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of Will come in from the start tomorrow either.
Will he start Mikey Moore and Lancashire? Probably not. If he does, I think a lot of Spurs fans will be excited. Also, it'll give us a much better assessment of where they're really at, because that's European football. Are they at the levels? Can they perform in these types of games? It's a bit weird because we're still in that phase of, we want to win the game, but we also want to give players a chance, which means we're going to experiment. Can we afford to experiment in this game? Well, what game can you afford to experiment in? That's the question.
I can tell you when we can start experimenting, and I would be all down for this. Once we have got enough points to actually qualify for the top 8, I am then more than willing to change the whole team around and just play the whole youth, because we would have already, points-wise, would have qualified comfortably. And then just for whatever the games are left, just put out the whole load of youngsters out there. Even the ones in our academy, I would even put out there just to give them a bit more of experience. I would then do it like that. I would have all that first team that we've already named out of there and just put the whole English youth in through the into that team until the end of the group stage and see where they all actually are then at that point.
Yeah, look, they need to qualify first. They need to qualify first. So that's probably going to take 5 games, maybe 6 games before we can do that.
Yeah. So okay. So let's go with the hypothetical way for a second, where you said it's 5 to 6 games. Let's call it 5 games, okay? So then we've still got another 3 to 4 games to play afterwards if we've qualified comfortably. And
it's a total of 8 games, right? So after 8 games, so I think it'll take 5 or 6 games before we can say that we've qualified.
Okay, so let's say we qualify after the 5th game, right? I would say for the last three games, just play the whole load of youth out there. That's the way I would go.
I agree. If you know you've qualified, you've got nothing to prove now. You're in the next round. So just play the youngsters, give them minutes. Listen, I totally agree, but we've got to get there first, right? Hopefully we do it as quickly as possible. Maybe that's even the plan. Maybe that's the plan. Qualify as quickly as we can, and then let the kids run out. Bergvall, Gray, Spence. Well, Spence isn't a kid, but he's he needs. Well, he's not even in Europe. By the way, what do you make of that? Not putting him in the Europa Cup squad. Do you think we made a mistake there?
Do you know what? It's kind of like, To me, I'm on the fence with that. But if you was to tell me I have to make a choice, I'd say yeah, it'd be the wrong thing to have done. Only because I don't see why we need 3 goalkeepers on or another 3 or 4 goalkeepers, whatever it is.
4
4
goalkeepers.
goalkeepers. Well, then we don't need 4 goalkeepers on the bench. Still, we really don't. It is literally it's all well and good, but what? So Vicario, let's say Vicario gets injured. What then? Foster gets injured, and then Austin gets injured. Don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Realistically, I don't think so. I think it was the wrong decision.
I agree with you, man. I think Spence not getting in ahead of 4 goalkeepers is madness, because now we've got what's the cover at left and right back for us in Europe? Ben
Archie
Davies
Gray and Ben Davies.
Do you think Archie? By the way, look, one last question, because then I want to bring in Joe. Do you think Archie Gray's a right back or not?
Is he a right back? Well, I haven't really seen him play until this season. But if you want, from what I'm hearing, he can play right back. But is he a good enough right back? I don't think he is. I think he's better in that CDM position. But the thing is, he's going to need that time. I don't want to be putting pressure on someone like an Archie Gray or a Bergvall until maybe 3-4 years down the line, because they've got, like, compared to what we had when we had Dyer, right? We kept giving Dyer credit. And I think Bergvall and all those youngsters have to literally give me at least 4 or 5 years of bullshit before I turn around and say I've had enough, personally. But that's my personal opinion.
I need to see him play a bit more in that role before I can make any opinion. Also, I need to see him just play more. So, listen, time will tell. Ryan, big up for coming on as always, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
All right, man. Look after yourself. We'll speak soon.
Yeah, we'll do. See you soon, mate.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Big up to Ryan. Joe, you are next in line. Welcome to the show. Nice. The old Puma polo top's nice.
How are you, Stel? It's nice to talk to you. I follow your show there, and I find it very good. You can hear me there, yeah?
Yeah. No, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad you watched the show, man. Thank you very much.
I'm 52 years of age, and I'm following Spurs since I was 9. I'm following since day 1 cup final, and seeing it all. Was at the new stadium, was at the old one. Just want to say 1 or 2 things. It's kind of comes across maybe negative, I suppose. But I never thought I'd say this, but I wasn't a fan of Lo Celso's. But I think Tottenham should have kept him, because if Maddison gets injured, we don't really have anyone, that in that position. Like if that was Chelsea or that, and the manager wanted a Lo Celso, they'd go out and buy 3 Lo Celsos, an heir and a spare, and if one didn't work out. But it's being Tottenham, you have to make do. I know they're better players than Lo Celso, but I just think that they should have kept him as backup. I see there on a lot of social media about giving Son a new contract. I think Son is gone backward in the last. I'd even put last season and maybe the one before that. He's lost a lot of he's not as clinical as he used to be. He gives the ball away an awful lot, for my liking. I'm happy enough to stick with Ange Postecoglou till at least the end of the season. I think he deserves a chance. The game at the weekend, look, I enjoyed it, but it was kind of, the fact that Newcastle bet them and Arsenal, like 3 games in a row now at our stadium, Arsenal's after beating us. Like, fans going ape over winning at United at the weekend. The season for me is going like typical to plan, like any other Tottenham season. An odd moral boost and win here and there, get a little run in the cups, and the next thing you're out of the cups. And I'm looking into a crystal ball here, but more likely that's the way it's going to end up. I hope I'm wrong. And I don't want to sound too negative, but because I love Tottenham, I just I'm forever watching YouTube or the matches or whatever, buying stuff and all that. So I might come across negative at that.
No,
But
listen, there's this, Joe, look, a couple of things. First of all, there's no such thing as being negative. Every opinion is allowed as long as you can explain why your opinion is what it is and you accept people that want to challenge it. Then there's no such thing as negativity and toxicity. That's what people that don't want to hear something that they don't agree with, they label it as that to try and shut it down, to turn people against that opinion. I get it all the time. There's no such thing as negativity. If that's your view, you're allowed your view. Regarding Lo Celso, I fully agree with you. I always defended Lo Celso. I had arguments with the guys on the channel about it. Technically, I think he's good. When he came on for us last year, he got assists, he got goals. He's proven himself in Spain. The only problem I had with Lo Celso, Joe, tell me if you agree, he was never available for us. He was always injured. He'd like play 2-3 games, he's out for a month. Play 2-3 games out for 2 months. So maybe because of his injury, he's not being available. That's probably why we got rid of him. Because what's the point? Do you think that's most? I think that's what happened. Do you think that's probably?
Yeah, you're bang on there. The thing about it is, Tottenham would levy any other club to go out to buy a new playmaker, but with us, it's like having Dyer there so long, Ben Davis, but these kids, like, I hope that I agree with your point about Lo Celso, but these young lads that's there now, like, obviously I want them to do well, but like the list of players that's after coming and going, like, and they're put down as signings. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's Jack Clark, for instance. Then you had your Wayne Routledge and your Clinton and Jays and all these Getz and Fernandez, and you have your man out in law now. What's his name? Brian Gill. Like, I don't want to see him back at the club. I think he's just an absolute waste of space.
Yeah, I think the fact that Brian Gill isn't at the club, the fact that Veliz isn't at the club, the fact that Lo Celso isn't at the club, most probably is because the manager doesn't want them. So I don't think you will see them back at the club anytime soon, Joe.
I'm very disappointed. Well, a bit, I won't say very, but I would have liked seeing Trey Parrott getting more time. I think that the club didn't give him a chance. I think there is something there, and just to come on as a squad player, that, you know what I mean? But I hope to see more Mikey Moore and Dorrington and these guys, freshen it up a bit, or something different to look at,
Yeah, look, there was no plan to play all these youngsters. It was never part of their plan. I don't know if you've watched the shows where I've said I spoke to Simon Davies, the academy director, who said they're not ready. The fact Mikey Moore's even getting some minutes, believe you me, that's a big thing, because I don't think that was part of their plans. In fact, I know it wasn't part of their plans, but he shone pre-season, and they feel that he's one that they've got to, really introduce. Because I do know that there were other Premier League clubs that wanted to buy Mikey Moore. Man City were sniffing around Mikey Moore, so I think if they don't give him the minutes, he'll go. He's got the boy's got a career in football, whether it's a big club, average club, whatever. He's got a career in football, so he probably is going to get the minutes. But the rest, I don't think they're going to get much of a looking. The fact we didn't bring on Lancashire against Man City 3-0 up, Man United 3-0 up was quite telling for me. But
But sometimes you just like there's times you just have to laugh at when you're looking at Tottenham. Like that Coventry game, it's just beg belief, and there's just time you just laugh. I seen a comment, I think it was on your channel there. Someone put up Benny Hill FC. I thought it was funny. Like, sometimes you have to see the light side of things. But
Look, we
but
got
that's it.
we got away with that one. We got away with it. So
Yeah.
we caught life. We caught life. I'll tell you what, if Ange didn't win that game, there would have been knives would have been drawn, I think. I think Spurs fans would have lost it.
Last season when Tottenham went on that run, I was kind of getting a bit carried away with myself. I said, finally, maybe there's something going to happen here. But there was one game that really brought me down rock bottom, that really made me realise that we are not nowhere near, was the time City knocked us out of the FA Cup. We just were not anywhere near the same level.
Yeah, listen, we were rubbish that day. We didn't even get a shot on goal. I mean, that was a poor game. But I think when City come to us in the Carabao Cup, I think it'll be a different game though. I don't think they're going to dominate the way they did that game.
Yeah, it will be a different game. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But I'd be the same as yourself now. I'm fed up of. Look, it'd be okay to be in the Champions League, but I'd rather a cup now at this stage, because I don't know, when did anyone that ever finished third or fourth in the Premier League ever win the Champions League? I think Chelsea might have done it, maybe.
I think Liverpool once finished fourth and fifth, and they did it. But that's Liverpool. They've got heritage.
It's very, very rare anyway. Very rare.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It is rare.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm going to love you and leave you, brother. I've got another 2 fans that want to come on, and I've only got another 25 minutes. So, strap for time.
Thank you.
We'll be doing this show every 2 weeks. So, if you want to come on next week, you're more than welcome. The link will always be in the chat. Jump on and have your say.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Delios. Thank you.
All right, Joe. Take care.
Thanks, bye.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we've got Swonks. Do you know what? If I pronounced it wrong, correct me when you come on, because I think I probably butchered it. But how you doing, man? Welcome to the channel.
Hello. It's Swanex.
Swanex. Sorry, I knew I got it wrong as soon as I said it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I was on a similar show with Sava like this, and I asked him a question. I'm going to ask you the same question now.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was you were too quick to say Ange out? And I say this because I remember when Ange was coming in and he was signing for the club, you was quite verbal and was almost like against the idea that he was only going to come in on a 2-year contract, because you was like, if it's going to be a project, we want to see at least a 3-4 year contract. So that came out that it was like a 4-year contract, I think. And then a year after, you're already ready to sort of give up the project and shout Ange out before the season's even kicked off. So I wanted to know, are you still feeling that you're Ange out, or do you think that maybe you jumped the gun a little bit on that, and maybe rather than being Ange out or Ange in, you should just sort of, take a step back, see how the season plans out, and then take a side?
First of all, I never said Ange out.
You did. I thought there was a show on Saturday when you look at the 32 games and you was like, that's it. No, I know it was. You said as soon as you found out Werner signed, you was like, I'm done with this project.
Yeah, I'm done with the project. I never said Ange out, right?
Okay.
So,
all right.
So my thinking, and I haven't changed, by the way, to answer your question, is any manager that comes into this club and accepts the signings that he has accepted, I don't believe in the project. I don't. Timo Werner, for me, was a massive red flag. And then I told everyone after that, we are not signing any top players now. We brought in Solanke. I don't think he's clinical. He went one-on-one against Man United, didn't take his chance. What Solanke's good at is pressing, connecting the dots across the front line, and scoring tap-ins. This guy's not clinical. He's not the striker that I believe we need to get over the line when that crunch moment comes. Bergvall and Gray are two unknowns. I don't say I'm against them. I'm not saying I'm for them. I don't know. I need to see over time. But do I believe right now it fills me with confidence? No, because they haven't proven anything. Werner, I'm totally against. I never wanted him at the club, and he's proven me right every single week. So I look at the signings and I say to myself, have we really improved this starting 11? Is that better? And for me, the answer is no, which is why I call him a yes man, because you are buying into what the way the club wants to do it. This project isn't anything different to me. I'm not seeing anything different. For me, I believe if we're going to be a successful football club, we need to sign premium level players to complement the Greys, the Bergvalls, and these types of players. We haven't done that. So as well as we look good right now in certain games, we look just as shit in other games, right? If we suddenly get consistency, maybe I'll begin to change my mind. But until that comes, I'm exactly where I am, Swanix. So I believe this is what's going to happen. And I said it at the start of the season. Go back and watch. Spurs will hit a patch where we do really well. And then at some point, I don't know when, the wheels will come flying off once we come up against the teams in pressurized games in the business end of the season, and we get a couple of injuries and we have to rotate, we will drown. And I firmly believe that will happen because I've seen this all before. So I wasn't too early to make a judgment. I need to see something different in terms of the behavior of the club for me to convince myself. And I haven't seen that. I've seen what I'm seeing now, Swanix. I've seen this before. I've seen this all before.
I agree with you. And a lot of things you say, I do agree with you on. Like, the fact is, until we change the ownership, this is going to be the situation with every single manager. So it's a case of that. I was watching the show one that got deleted when Brian Daigle came on, and I kind of get his belief that, you know what, just back the manager, regardless of whether how you feel about the ownership. Back the manager, because at the end of the day, we're stuck under this ownership. So there's no point turning on managers left, right, and center because we can't help the ownership. The ownership dictate who they want. They're only going to hire people that they can control, and when they hire someone that they can't control, they get rid of them. So it's you know what I mean. You're in a vicious circle.
Yeah, but then I'm being forced to accept a manager that is a facilitator of the problem. I don't want that. I'm not turning.
Yeah, but like you,
I'm not turning against him. I'm questioning him and I'm challenging what I'm seeing. At the end of the day, I want Levy out above everything else. I fully agree with you. Whilst he's here, nothing changes, in my opinion. I don't think we're ever going to be good under this guy, this chairman, ever. Even if he throws another £300 million at it, we'll end up wasting the money. And will probably get us back to that Poch vibe where we get into the top four. We compete against the better teams. But to get over the line, to be a serious football club that wins the proper trophies, man, you can't be doing it with these types of players. And I've seen it. I saw it against Coventry. I saw it against Qarabag. I saw it against a Newcastle and an Arsenal team that we could not break down because we didn't have a locksmith. We didn't have a magic man. We didn't have that elite player. And until he makes those signings, for me, this project is just vibes.
I hear that, but I think, do you know when Arteta first took over Arsenal and they bought players like Zinchenko, Gabriel? You don't see you don't see either of them to start at the moment for them. So I feel like these players.
No, bro, they bought Zinchenko last season.
No, I thought they bought Zinchenko like 2 years ago. He's had about 2 seasons there. No, that was not his first season there.
You said when Arteta first started. When Arteta first started, do you know who he signed? Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Proven number 6 DM. Proven.
But what I'm saying is that sometimes you buy players that are not going to that's not going to be in your final form. I don't think Brennan Johnson's going to be, if you look at Spurs in the next 2 years, say, I don't think Brennan Johnson's going to be starting. I don't think Timo Werner's going to be starting. But I think they're the kind of players that at the moment, well, take away Werner, but with Brennan Johnson at the moment, he's scoring goals for us. We might not like the player or like the style of player.
What you're doing here is you're picking one player. What about
no,
Solomon?
no, no.
What about Solomon? Talk about Solomon. Who signed him? Who signed Veliz? Who signed Werner twice? See, we don't talk about that. We just
No,
got to focus
I'm
on
not.
the one that
No,
landed.
no. My point. No, that's not my point. My point is the players that we have now
Yeah.
might not be good enough. They're not good enough to us to win the league, but they're players that will obviously make us better than we were last year or the year before. And there could be, you know what I mean? My point is that you can buy players like Brennan Johnson now that might get us to fourth, maybe get us to third. But then after that, you might want to say, you know what? Now we need to upgrade on Brennan Johnson. Might need to upgrade on Sarr.
Okay. That's great. That's great. And I totally agree with you. 100% agree with what you've said. But two things. Until we sign those superstars, right? That takes us from third to first. Like everyone's guessing, whereas I've seen it before. So I need to see that for me to change my mind. Secondly, you're talking about if we get third or fourth, then we can go and that's great. But this manager said, I'm winning trophies this year. And when I do, it's going to be great. Okay, well, you better win it with these players then.
And if he does, I mean, let's be honest. If he does, then everyone that's against.
But you just told me Johnson's here to get fourth and third.
No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about winning the league. I don't think we're going to win the league, but there's always a chance that you can get a little cheeky cup, like FA Cup, League Cup.
Do you think these players we've got right now, being rotated week in week out between Premier League, Cup, Carabao, Premier League, Europa, Premier League, FA Cup, Premier League, Carabao, every week. Do you think they're going to lift the trophy this season?
I think it's hard to say. I wouldn't have bet. I wouldn't have bet on Man United lifting the trophy last season or the season before. But one second, let me explain. Let me say my bit. I think the problem with Ange at the moment is what we saw in the last European game. For example, Dragusin. Dragusin has come from a league where he's playing week in, week out, week in, week out. Then you bring him over to the Premier League. He's only 22, still learning his trade, and then you don't play him for 5, 6, 7 games, and then you drop him in, expecting him to be as good or challenge Romero. Dragusin needs to get on the pitch. We need to be playing him against teams that have just come up into the Premier League, teams that we should be beating. He needs to get match fitness, more regular game time, and then when you have that availability that Romero's ill, let's put Dragusin in. At the moment, there's such a drop off, and it's down to the fact that we're buying players, but Ange doesn't want to rotate them enough, and I think that is the problem. Like we saw in the last European game.
But do you think he's not rotating them enough because he knows they're not good enough? As we saw against Coventry, they're not good enough, man. Coventry's a championship side. They owned us. They completely outplayed us. And they made 7 changes. Karabag, right? The mighty Karabag. If they had a striker, that game's not finishing 3-0. That penalty they took, he smashed it into the upper tier of the Paxton.
I feel like with Spurs, we play a lot better when we're fearless. And I think those first 3 games, we played with we have a little bit of apprehension and a bit of fear. I think when you look at the last season, when Ange first came in our first 10 games,
we dominated possession, we dominated the attack.
One second, let me finish.
How's that fair?
Let me finish. Because when Ange first came in and he set about his tactics, everybody bought into it straight away. Everybody bought in it, played fearlessly, and we won. Well, we went on like a 10-game streak. Then we got injuries, and people started saying, you know what? They're vulnerable here, vulnerable there. Then those players that were quite important came back to us, hearing all these things, and the whole team's reading about, they're vulnerable on the flanks. And I think when we're playing, the forward players are thinking, I don't want to lose the ball, because if I lose the ball here, they're going to knock it over the back, over the midfield and go and score. And I think that kind of holds us back a little bit when you're playing with that sort of, I don't want to lose the ball. Whereas when we play like we don't care if we lose the ball, we're just going to keep attacking. I think you see a better Spurs. And I think with our first 3 games of, losing against Newcastle, Arsenal and whatnot, and going to Coventry, and obviously everybody talking about, Spurs are, they've lost against these two teams. Those players that came in, and also hardly any of them really touching much grass, they're playing with a bit of fear. Like, oh, we don't want to lose this game. It's a big game. Look how they're talking about us. Players like Brennan Johnson, for example, he's obviously playing with fear, and we could see it in his game. Now he's started to score a bit of goals, and he's got his confidence back up. He's taking on players occasionally. He's 4 and 4. Like,
I think Brennan Johnson's just been given space to run into and to attack, and that's how you get the best out of him.
But
Any
you
team that
can't
sits back and protects the space behind, he's dead to me. And as is
Yeah, but
as is Solanke.
But what you said, you can't do that, because what you said, I want to see Brennan Johnson score against Man United. He scored against Man United.
Yeah, bro. Okay.
I want to see him score more goals. He scored. This is the thing. It can't be heads you win, tails I lose. You got to have a bit of balance.
No, I'm being balanced. Anyone could have scored that goal. You could have scored it.
Doesn't matter. It was Brennan Johnson. You have to be in the spot.
Hold on, Sonics. Does that goal prove he's a top player? Does that prove?
No, there's no. But it proves he was in the right place at the right time. That's it.
Anyone could have made that run if they played in that position.
Listen.
Anyone.
We can't start going. Oh, now he's got to score a 40-yarder. He's got to score with his head. But you want goals.
No, I come with the same energy. I said the same thing about Solanke. I said he's not clinical. Solanke for me is good at tap-ins. That's it. The guy's not clinical. I've seen him miss 2 chances against Leicester City, a 1-on-1 against Brentford, and a 1-on-1 against Man United. For me, I bring the same energy to every player. I'm not picking on Johnson. I said the same about Solanke. They are tap-in merchants, right?
Listen, a goal from 40 yards or a goal from a tap-in is still a goal. You're still going to win the game, right?
Because when a team plays a low block, you're going to beat them with a 40-yarder. You're not going to get a chance for the tap-in. And a team that low blocks us, we haven't got those players, in my opinion. And it's been proven, because any team that low blocks us, we are stung because we didn't.
Yeah, but you're saying, okay, we've played 6 games. How many teams have low blocked us this season out of those 6 games? Because you can't keep going back to last season looking at that, because obviously
Leicester City did. Leicester City.
Yeah.
Arsenal for most of the game, and Newcastle. All the games we didn't win.
Well, I wouldn't expect us to be beating Arsenal, to be fair. And Newcastle, they're just kind of our bogey team at the moment. So, but I don't think you can just say low blocks are kryptonite. I feel like
watching all the teams that low blocked us are all the teams we couldn't beat, and your answer to that is Arsenal. We should
because it's just a small sample.
The bogey team. Leicester, what?
It's a small sample. You're choosing 3 games. 3 games.
You asked me the question. Which teams low blocked? No, you asked me a question. Which team low blocked us? And I told you.
So based on those 3 games, that's what you theorize is that from those 3 games that we can't do low blocks.
I'm answering your question. You asked me a question.
Okay.
Which teams low blocked us? And I answered your question.
So my question is, from those 3 games, you think that is going to be our story for the whole season, that we can't beat low blocks?
That's what I've seen so far. That's what I've seen. We can't beat a low block, no.
Would you not say that sample size is kind of small to make that judgment so soon? Because I would.
If we're going to say that, then the sample size of our performances where we've done well, that's too small as well then. It's got to be both.
Yeah, because exactly. No, you're right. That's what I'm quite a balanced person.
Then I can agree with you. If we're going to calm down the hype,
yeah, of course.
Then I will also relax talking about the low block. I can meet you halfway on that.
No. That's what I think our fans need to do. I think there's too much bipolar. It's always got to be really extreme, or it's got to be really positive. We're going to win the league, or really negative. Oh, we're still shit. There has to be a balance, and this is why I'm sometimes arguing in the chat, because it's just a bit like, let people enjoy the moment. You won against Man United. We ain't done that since COVID. Enjoy the moment. It doesn't happen very often, but also, don't have a go at people that are so happy and be, you're happy clappers. Let them enjoy the moment. We don't get much moments as Spurs fans, so if we win 3-0 at Man United, enjoy it.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, right? I am one person that people, they listen to one bit and they ignore everything else. And that bit's the one I get nailed for, right? I'm very consistent in what I've said. I don't believe in any project under any manager, under this chairman, unless I see a change in transfer policy. It's no coincidence back in May when we signed Werner, or June when we signed Werner, I lost my mind because I said, this is a sign of what's to come. After the transfer window, every fan pretty much who was honest, said that was underwhelming. That was a really
Yeah, of course.
underwhelming window. Right. That's what I'm talking about, Swanix. You're right. I can't judge it after 6 games. You're spot on. I can't. But then fans can't be getting all hyped up and gassed after 6 games either. For me, after 10 games, look, this is what I did last year. There's 4 markers I've got. After 10 games, Christmas, after the January transfer window, and end of season. Those 4 markers are indicators for me. After 10 games, I will be able to make, in just my opinion, a fair assessment of how the season started. And I just believe with the signings we've made, I'm not convinced, man. I'm not. I know we played brilliantly against Man United, and we probably deserve something from the Leicester game. We probably did, right? But I also see the Carabao game. I also see the Coventry game, and I also see how so far we've struggled against low blocks. And what that says to me is what I've seen for the last 25 years. When we get to the business end, that's when we're going to see what's what. And what I'm seeing so far is we don't cut it. I don't think we cut it. That's just my take on it.
No, I mean, like I say, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I mean, I watched your show, like I said, the one that got deleted the other day. And I have to admit, I was a little bit disappointed because obviously everybody's coming into the show excited to hear everyone talk about the 3-0 win. And you kind of,
bro, because someone reported us for that video I put up. So
I understand that, but
I didn't delete it. The channel was in trouble.
No, I understand that. I just remember. I feel like Iggy's the voice of reason because he's like, yeah, enjoy the win, and you sort of burst the bubble and was like, well, was we really good or was Man United really shit? And it's like, come on, man, that should be at the end of the show. Let us celebrate, talk about the good talking points of the game, and then maybe ask the question at the end. But it seems like if we do
start your own channel. Right? Start your own channel.
If you do well, listen. If you do well, I want to hear. I don't want to hear your team. We're up against shit opposition. I want to hear we played well. That's what I want to hear. So this is why.
But the thing is,
I'm just giving my opinion. Just my opinion,
I get it. Your opinion is we should have been more positive, more energy, this and that. This is the difference, though. This is the difference. With me, right? With me, I have to say what I see. And what I saw was a superb Spurs performance, but one of the worst Man United teams I've seen ever. Do you know what? I spoke to a couple of Man United fans after the game.
They're pissed.
Bro, do you know what they said to me? There's this old guy, Richard. Big up to Richard if he's watching. I don't know if he's watching. I told him what the channel's called. And I said to Richard, Richard, I can't believe we just did that to you, man. You're lucky it's not 6 or 7. If someone was playing instead of Werner, it would have been a bloodbath out there. And he said to me, I've been coming here since the 60s or whenever. This is the worst Man United team I've seen. I said, really? You've won 2 trophies under Ten Hag. You can't be that bad, man. Come on, 2 trophies. If Andrew wins 2 trophies at Spurs, we're going to be calling for statues. He goes, look, that's, you're Tottenham, this and that, no disrespect. He was even saying this is a poor Man United team. Look, that's his view. I don't watch Man United enough. But I said the same thing after Everton, by the way, Swanix. I am consistent. When we beat Everton, the first thing I said was that's the worst Everton team I've ever seen come to Spurs. Ever. And I just felt that I wanted to ask the question, was it Spurs' brilliance or were Man United that shit? And most people said it was a bit of both. That's what most people
it's always going to be both. If a team wins 3-4-0, one team had to have been good and one team had to have been poor. There's no way you can say, oh, both teams played well, but the score is 4-0. That doesn't make sense to me. It's an oxymoron. You can't be both good and one team's got a 3-goal deficit.
True.
So, no. That's all I wanted to say, really.
Listen, let me ask you one question before you go, because I've got...
Go on.
Iggy's jumped on in the back, man. His ears must have been...
Yes.
No, let's bring him on. No.
The voice of reason on the channel. He's the voice of reason on this channel. The guy is so balanced. Oh, my gosh.
I told you on Monday night that I was going to come on because I wanted to have my say. I told you I was coming on Wednesday night. Big up, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Big up. Yes, Iggy. Control your boy, man. Control your boy.
Where's the backup? Where's the backup? Look at this.
Yeah, because it can't be, like I say, it can't be every time we win a game, the other team is shit. Give us some credit, man. Even you
Listen,
can give us credit in
I
isolation.
said it. Yeah, you're right. If you're
I
looking at
did
it for the
say
match,
Spurs played superb. I did say that.
no. To be fair, you did say that. You know, that was one of the best away matches. Well, how many we've been to? We're getting
The
pumped.
atmosphere
We
was
went
electric.
Man United. We got pumped. Last year we went to Newcastle. We got pumped. So it was nice to be, or at least when you're in your case, it was nice for you and for us to see
I
it
think
through
it was
your
well.
eyes.
Welcome.
It was nice for us to see it through your eyes, still. That it was a great, you know, it's not easy to go to Old Trafford, journey up there, or even all these away games, and to go and get slapped and come back. It's not an easy feat, but to go up there, win 3-0, yeah, all right, we can all see that Man United, it's not their level, but you can't take away your team going there for minute one. You know, we went there for minute one
Yeah, we were
and went for
cooking.
the jugulars. We set the tone and we scored early, and that it breathed. You know what happens? It rises you, and of course it
Yeah,
piles it on them, and their fans go all quiet, and your fans go all in voice. That's football, man. That's football. For a team to do well and win, the other team didn't do so well, and which is why they lost. That's in any matches like that. And I think with Spurs fans, listen, I'm not saying get carried away. Oh, we're gonna go on to win the league. I'm not saying that. No one's saying that. We're a certain age here. We all know this is not what we're saying anyway. But in isolation, like you rightly say, it's a good win, man. It's a massive win. 4 games now unbeaten. We go on to Brighton and let's see if we can replicate
yeah.
what we've been doing. That's all you can hope for, man.
Facts.
I
But
don't
listen,
disagree.
we all have our opinion. Stell will always have
Well,
his opinion.
Stell's gonna say but something. I can hear it.
This is why we're back and forth all the time, and even on here, we do it.
It's-
We do it on stream. We do it off stream. We're always cussing, so it don't matter. So it's just all good.
you know what? 10 games, Christmas, after the transfer window in January, end of season. Then we will
Yeah.
know what's what.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
think Spurs are good enough.
there
to
are
win the
hurdles
season.
along the way that we will
do-
overcome, and of course, the
Listen,
overall summer will be at the end of the season. Of
if we
course,
win a trophy
I'm
this
talking
season,
about right now. I can only say right now.
Yeah, exactly. Take one game at a time.
Yeah.
if we win a trophy this season, you know, myself and probably Sava, right, and Dan Hotspur, we are going to get the mother of cookings, right? There's no coming
Yeah,
back.
definitely. I'll
Yeah,
be there for that.
Let's also have it right. If you get it your way, you threw we all the mother of cooking.
You're
All of
all
us.
finished. You're all finished.
Exactly.
The
So,
whole Spurs, everyone is done. You're done.
what
right?
would you rather be? Would you rather see us successful and take the cooking, or do you want to say, do you know what? Fuck that. I
Take the
want to be
cooking.
doing the cooking.
I'll
And
take the cooking. I'd
yeah,
rather
well,
take
there
the
you
cooking.
go.
I'd always
No,
take the cooking.
That's
I've always said I want
that's
trophies.
been a
I
fan.
don't
That's
care
been a
about
fan.
performance. I don't care about the stats. I don't care about how good we play. I want trophies. Let me bring in this chap here. Is it Sabello? Have I said your name right or have I got it wrong?
Big up
Sabello.
everybody. Can you guys hear me? Sab,
Yeah,
just call me
perfectly.
Sab. Can you
Speak a
guys
little
hear
bit
me?
louder. Just speak a little bit louder.
Is it loud enough now?
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
Is it
my
loud
man.
enough?
Perfect.
Is it perfect? Perfect, yeah. Okay, I think I just need to come closer. I just came on for one thing. I first of all agree with everything you guys say, Stull, especially you, Iggy, yes, the man of reason. But I just came
I
on
try
to
to.
argue. I just came here to argue about Richarlison. I feel like Stull, you're too harsh on him. That's like my only harsh, and you always like get harsh on other players, like, and they end up leaving us and they turn out good, like Lasalso and
I defended
Serge
Lascelles.
Aurier.
I defended
Okay,
him in
I
front
know,
of all of
but
these
you
people.
no,
Yeah,
no, no, yeah, you did, but
I'm
then eventually,
Los Celso need nah.
yeah, I know if you for like a certain period of time, and then you're like, nah, this guy just doesn't do anything for us, and you got frustrated the one
No, I
time,
said
He
and
he
I'm
was
was
like,
injured.
stealing. He was stealing a wage, bro.
I
Los
said he was
Celso was
always
stealing
injured.
a
That's
nah,
wage.
but like guys, we saw what he was doing in South America though. Like, come on.
For them, he's there. For us, he was never here. For
You're arguing with the wrong
Argentina,
person.
Messi
Okay, but
loves
like,
him.
Argue with
But
these
but like
two.
Messi didn't
no,
have him
but
in
like
I'm
Tottenham.
on your side.
that's just one of the players though. What about like
Which
who
okay,
else
can
did
I
I
ask
say?
you something, Sabello?
Richarlison, Serge Aurier. I think
Me and
Serge Aurier was decent. Steven Bergwijn.
You come
Steven
on to argue for
Bergwijn.
Serge Aurier. Is it
No,
you?
no, no. Do you know what? Do you know what, Sabello? Let me ask you this. Forget the players that have gone. We can't do nothing
This
about
is
it.
a
That's done.
troll. You're a
But
troll.
But like I just feel like we're so harsh.
tell
Just
me
to
about
quickly like
Richarlison. Why should we?
Serge
Why
Aurier.
should we be? Okay, all right. Let me speak for me. Why should I be Richarlison fan
Okay, Iggy, like I know it's gonna take a lot to convince you because you used to watching Leao. Like that's quality, I know, but like with Richarlison, can I tell you one thing with Richarlison?
Go on.
He's a hard worker and
I'm a hard worker.
all of those goals, if those like shots that hit the post, if they went in, we would have been saying like a different story right now. We'd be saying a different story right now. That's all I'm saying. And he was in
Come
the
on, man.
Brazilian squad that was
Come
in the
on,
World
man.
Cup.
We're not gonna go
He
if
scored that banger
he
goal.
scored, if he hit the post and win it. Come on,
No,
man.
but like I'm just saying, like any other day, those go in and then like you know.
we might have won the
Do you
championship.
think Richarlison is good enough? Is he good enough for what
I
we
feel
need?
like I know you guys would want him right on tomorrow night coming off of the bench. Like we would all want him.
No, no, we wouldn't. No,
Yes.
no,
What?
no. I think I'd rather have Lancashire.
That's crazy. So you'd rather have Werner
Yeah.
coming off the bench, or you would
No,
rather have Werner
Lancashire.
starting over
I wouldn't go as
Richarlison?
far as Werner, but come on, man. We were talking about coming off the bench. Do you really think
No,
he's?
I would be down for Richarlison tomorrow night.
Are
Like
you?
coming
No,
on off the
no,
bench.
Bro,
no,
man.
Are you
no,
guys
no.
serious?
Yeah,
Coming off
yeah.
the bench.
He's not very good. He's not.
Go
You'd
on,
Yeah, he's
rather
not
Bobby,
have
very
man.
good, is he?
Odegaard and Werner. That's crazy.
I'd
I don't
rather
know.
have
Maybe
Mikey
that's just
Moore.
my
I'd
opinion.
rather have Mikey Moore coming on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like, let's be honest. Like, Ange's not gonna play Mikey Moore. He's gonna put him on in the
I know. I say
70th
I'd
minute.
rather have him coming on because do you know what? I'll tell you why. My thinking behind this is with Mikey Moore. He's a young player who has a journey ahead of him. We don't know what that journey provides. It may go one way, might go, but at least there's something ahead of him, and I'd love to discover where that journey takes him. With Richarlison, man, that's as far as it's gonna go. It's not gonna go. He's not gonna become a world beater anytime soon. I just don't see it. I think he'd be good for a mid-table team or below the bottom half table. I think he'd be good for a team that plays counter-attacking football and provides for him. And I think he did really well at Everton for that because they had the attributes in that team that prevailed how he plays. With us, in the style that we play, I don't see how that's going to work for him. I don't think he's technically very good. He's good in the air, but we don't really put balls in the box to prevail his attributes. I just don't see how it's going to work from the way we play and how he plays, and I just don't see a future for him at this club. He can go to another Everton side or Brentford or anyone like that and might begin to score again, but that's because the style of football that they play may suit him better. But for us, I just think his journey's done. I think we just have to admit and say that with 65 million that we just thrown down the drain regarding him. We have to say that. And for all the disagreement I have with Stell, he was bang on the money right from the off. We wasted 65 million, and that was 65 million of the money that we was already spending even before we cashed in on Harry Kane.
Could have got Eze.
Imagine.
Could have got Eze, man.
There's so many more players. 65 million. And let me put it this way. Another 65 million, another 15 million on top. You could have gone and got Osimhen from Napoli. Now that he fell out with the club, he's gone to Galatasaray, Kvaratskhelia. And before Conte came in, obviously, when Conte came in, Kvaratskhelia ain't going anywhere now. But Osimhen fell out with them. We should have stepped in and said, you know what, we'll take him off your hands. We didn't do that. We spent 65 million on Richarlison, 65 million on Solanke, and Solanke. We have to see how that goes. But even before we got Solanke, Osimhen was there for the taking. I don't know. I just think that there are better players for that amount of money.
Yeah, there's loads. He needs to go to Saudi Arabia, get that payday because his
Yeah,
career's
but
on his career's on the way down.
I guess like
Unfortunately,
If we can recover that money by selling him to Saudi Arabia, I'll be like, you know what? We made a mistake, but boy, did we make up for it. Now we can really go
yeah,
and get
but
him.
Iggy, like unless the Saudi come and get him, then we have no choice. We have to stick with him. So like
So what
this
does
is
that tell you about your
pointless.
man? The fact that we have to hope on Saudi Arabia to come and spend it. If he's as good as you're saying he is, why have we not got better, more takers?
We don't need to stick with him. We can play other players in front of him. Swanix gave you one player, Lancashire. We can play other players in front of him. I'd rather honestly. Oh.
Bella, we got to level up. We got to level up.
Bergvall.
I'd rather
youngsters get a crack at it ahead of Richarlison.
Yes, but like this is fairy tale. Like let's start. Like, why are we saying like rather bring like we all want youngsters, but like let's just come back to reality. We know we're not gonna play youngsters, So let's be more. I'm being more realistic than you guys. You guys are just saying if, buts, and maybes with
Yeah, but you want
youngsters when
average
it's never
players.
Yeah, but
You
happened.
want
your
average
if
players
buts
to
and
get another
maybes by
chance.
saying that Richarlison's going to come good, bro. Come on, man. You're
But
saying
like, what
Richarlison's
you
going to come good.
mean? On
He ain't gonna
on
come
another
good.
day, those goals are going in. It's
Agreed.
like we're
Hey,
saying a different
He's not
story.
serious. I can't take it serious. I can't take it seriously.
another
He's
life,
not being
maybe
serious.
another. He ain't going to
But
be
I'm
that
not. I'm
guy,
not
man.
crazy about Richarlison. I'm just saying that like he's decent, but like he's way
Cooley's better
better
in
than
number 9 than
Brennan.
he is.
Like I
Cooley's better
hate
up front
Brennan.
than Richarlison.
Sabella, we got in our fan base. We refer to him as R9. How disrespectful is that, man? R9.
Well, the real R9 did come to go watch him in North London, hey? The one time.
The one
I
time.
swear, like he
yeah,
did.
yeah, and he's never come again. He's never come back again. Is that
Yeah,
not seen enough? Oh my God,
but I'm just saying we have to stick with them, guys. Like we have no choice, like really. So like we have to
no,
just be
we
No,
always
positive.
got
no,
choice.
This
Always
no,
got
is
choice,
no,
man.
no.
we never win anything.
Sentiment.
This is
No
why Spurs
sentiment.
never win silverware, because we try and force players into the team just because they're there, rather than saying, "Do you know what? Get him
He
out.
ain't good enough. Say
Get
that.
him."
Look at
Yeah, but
Chelsea. All
It can't be
the
like
big
that.
yes,
boys.
I like. What did I? I do agree with you. We like obviously, but like you know our board, we our situation. So we
Look
have
at
to
this
just
one here,
make the
Matt.
best
You're
we
bang
can.
on. Matt, you're
Like
bang on.
like come on, like oh, guys, like are we really going to take down an empire like Daniel Levy and the Inik like regime? Like come on,
Let me ask
let's
you a
be
question,
realistic.
Sabella. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
When does Richarlison come on? Like when? Against who comes off for him?
Who comes off? Like if he was like fine and he wasn't injured and like tomorrow night,
No.
like who
Who
does it
would you who does he replace? Solanke.
in that front three of us?
Yeah.
Mm,
The reason I'm
I
saying
know
is
it's
because
that. I know.
you're gone.
I know.
Yeah. So if you
I'd
got
say he
Son,
takes out
Solanke,
Brain.
and
I say he
Johnson,
takes out Brennan Johnson and puts in slots in Richarlison there. I don't
Oh
know.
my
Mix
god.
up
Oh my god.
a front
Oh my
three
god.
of Richarlison, Solanke, and Son.
No,
I'm
you're not
this
serious.
close. I'm this close to banning you from coming back on the channel.
Okay. Okay. Man, I'm just tired. Okay. Speak.
No,
Let me hear your opinion.
No.
I'm not really gonna ban you, man. I'm not really gonna ban you. The
But
wide players need to be quick and invert on the ball. Richarlison stumbles when running with the ball. Okay, so you play him as a striker.
Horrible first touch.
Awful. You look at Solanke. He triggers the press. He links up the play, and he does get in the right places for the tap-ins. Richarlison, his pressing game's average. He's the worst at linking up the play. The whole system breaks down. I don't
that's what
see
I'm
how he
saying. His
fits
style
into
of
the way
play
we
doesn't
play.
suit us, man.
It
It
doesn't fit
doesn't.
the system we
that's
play
true.
at all.
Richarlison's good when he's facing, when he's facing the opposition goal. So anything that comes through in the channels where he can run onto, or across the box in a counter-attacking move, he's perfect for that because everything's facing him. But if you're having to tell him to turn around, face his own goal, build up the play, and his touch is not, and a lot of people say, but it's shithousery. I mean, come on, man, we're going to base the player on shithousery. It doesn't work for me. But to take Brennan Johnson's place right now, he's in a good run of form. Look, it remains to be seen if Brennan Johnson's on a purple patch. Listen, I've been a critic. I've massively criticised Brennan Johnson in the past, as well as everyone else. But that critique was because he just wasn't delivering, wasn't playing well. But at the moment, his development. The other thing for me, he has to find consistency in is during the game, because he has too many spells for me
Yeah.
that he drifts in and out of the game. A lot of it out, but he comes alive. When there are attacks, you know that he's on the move, then he comes alive. I just want to see a bit more consistency throughout the game for him. But his scoring goals, we've criticised him with saying he only scores, bottom teams not up. And now he's going as bad as Man United was, still going to Old Trafford. He was present there. He's goals and assists. He's contributing on that front, but he's still got much to do to really win us over. But at least now we can say that the critique given to him, he's responding. So that means that one thing I've learned from Brennan Johnson right now, that he's shown that he's got the character to not only fight the critiques but also respond to them in a positive way, because he could have gone under because he was getting peppered, not just critiquing, he was getting abuse, he was getting all of that personal abuse, family and all of that, and he's come the other end responding well to it. So that tells you a bit about him as a man. So now we just want to see him elevate. I don't know if he's going to be that world beater, I don't know, but right now you wouldn't put him out of the team on that right hand side. Certainly not for Richarlison. Isabella, sorry, man. I can't say I would put him in.
Okay. But like still, like the reason why I came here on here, I was just saying, like we just too quick to like judge these players. Like look, like with Bentancur the other, like even Sava started saying now like Bentancur is like average, and I'm like, what the hell? Like
Who said his average? I've
Sava,
always
like
been.
the other day, I like
Oh,
maybe,
I don't
but
know.
like
I'm not
Sava
Sava.
was like,
I'm not
yeah,
Sava.
Sava the other.
I don't know.
Come on
Yeah.
here to tell me about Sava.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, also you guys, you part of that,
No,
like,
no.
what,
Anyone that knows me,
that
anyone
says
that
that,
knows me knows how much I've always been a big
like, you
fan of
quick to
Bentancur.
and
I've
look at
always
Hoiberg.
been a big fan.
Hoiberg is doing well in Marseille, and we were quick to we didn't want, and some of the people didn't really want him. They're like, oh, he's average. We don't want him. But look, he's doing well.
Spurs, man. He's not. Come on, he's not.
What do you mean? But like the Marseille fans are loving him there, though. We didn't treat him right. That's
it's a different style of play, though, isn't it?
It's Marseille. It's Marseille.
Marseille are not even in Europe.
Yeah,
man.
but aren't they like in the Champions League or Europa also?
Marseille finished outside the
Carabag's
European
in
places.
Europa, and
they're playing one game a week in
bad.
France. They're not in Europe. They're not in any. They're not in the Champions League. They're not in. They're not in.
He's on a wind up. So who sent you in? Who sent you here? Who sent you? Tell me who sent you here.
No. I'm just saying like you guys. I just like feel like you guys are always quickly to hating on the players, and I'm just like we must just like.
Have we praised Van der Ven?
Yeah, we have. Yes.
Have we praised Pedro Porro?
Yeah, but like sometimes you guys shit. You guys shit on his defending.
Never shut on Pedro Porro, man. Have we praised?
Yes, Romero? On his defending.
If anyone defends Romero, it's this channel. If anyone defends Kuti, it's this channel. Right? You don't talk about that.
Okay, fair. And that's why I watch you. That's why I like you. That's why I watch you because you like
you just flipped.
No, I did.
He's
but
not
like,
serious,
I'm just playing devil's advocate, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just like that's just how I feel. But I like overall, I do agree with you.
You're too much.
Look, I'm a huge fan. I've always been a big fan of Bentancur. I like him. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. But me, look, you only got to look at my morning videos when in one of the screen bit at the bottom right, when you see the morning video, have a look at the bottom right when I met Bentancur that day at the Hotspur Way, man. I was like a little kid at Christmas. It was like, for me, it's one of my favourite players in the team. I love the way like he picks the ball up, he glides through that midfield. He's passed when he's on his game, but he has to be 100% well within himself, like physically, he needs to be well. If he's well, he physically hasn't got any issues like he has recently, mate. We got a player in him. That guy understands. He reads. He's got the fight in him when he needs to be. He doesn't mind putting his foot in it, but he can play as well. He can play, and he's making with Kulusevski and Madison right now. They're all speaking the same language in that middle of the park, and I feel like that was one area, and I've said it many a times in the street. That was one area that wasn't convincing me in the midfield. I don't think we got with that, but right now we've got it right. In this moment, they all seem to be clicking and getting into form. Now, if Bentancur's ban comes in, I don't know what that means of Bissouma, because he's not really been ticking over. We need him to tick over as well, because there is a player in Bissouma, but he's just not been doing it for Spurs for one reason or another. I'm not sure why that is, but I think if we got that midfield right, everything we got the defense. It's making me laugh, these comments, but the defense, I think we can get there. I think we still need to like just a little bit more attentive, but we've been doing better in corners, defending corners. I feel like we've improving that. A goalkeeper for the stick that this guy over here. I mean, we had wars on him the other day about with Vicario, but you know, I think he's good. Well, in your opinion, for me, I think he's good enough. I think he is good enough. I think there are areas of his game that he needs to improve, like anyone else.
Yeah, definitely.
But I wouldn't go as far as saying, mate, this guy comes out with 2 worldie saves every game without fail,
nothing
man.
to do against Man United. He had nothing to do.
One game. You go and counteract me with one game when every game he makes 2 worldie saves at least
He does.
easily.
But I said as a shot stopper, he's incredible. He's a phenomenal shot stopper.
Yeah,
He really
but
is.
okay, we just have to make sure that our
No,
teams,
no,
the
no, no. But
opposition,
you
we
guys
get
were
them to shot
hating
it
on
from outside
Vakari
the
that
goal.
time.
Yeah, we got to allow teams opposition to say, you know what, we drop 5-10 yards. You can shoot from outside the box anytime because I trust this guy behind me. So shoot from outside the box and just have to be attentive. I think as a team defending corners, the goalkeeper, the defense. I think marking has been atrocious at some of their occasions as well. Even that I said that a lot. That one, the Arsenal one for me, the marking was really bad. But we've seemed to be getting better on that. So that's as long as I see game by game improvements in individuals and as a team, you have to say, you know what, the manager's doing what he's meant to be doing as are the players. And right now, this is only we can only go by the here and now, not by in future. Don't get me wrong, the club and the owners and all of that stuff. We know we've made ourselves perfectly clear in how we feel about them. But when the match is on for 90 plus minutes, I want the boys and the manager to do well. Always have done, and never that would never change for me. For me anyway.
The voice of reason speaks.
Listen, what's that? If it wasn't your son will be the keeper, he is now. Listen, all right. Let me tell you this. I'll say something. My youngest son's a goalkeeper. Since we're talking about goalkeepers, Vicario.
How old is he?
My son's now 14. He's 14 years old. All right, my youngest. And as a goalkeeper, it was in parts of Stell's club from the age of 7. And as a club, I remember, if you guys don't mind me telling this story real quick, I remember when we was like playing in the 5-a-side, non-competitive football at a young age, under 7, under 8s, under 9s, non-competitive. And we, the coach, Stell, and the coach that was managing the team at the time said, look, we need to develop a goalkeeper that's good enough with his feet because we're going into a generation of players. Back then, this was 7-8 years ago. We're going into a generation of goalkeepers that need to start playing with their feet, and he needs to develop. So Stell had a goalkeeper in his team that our coach saw and said, you know what, he's brilliant. How did he manage that? He goes, look, you can go through this coaching process, the keeper, but you're going to take a lot of shit from everyone. What do you mean? Every time he gets the ball, whether the opposition's kicked it to him or his own players kicked it to him, he does not pick up the ball under any circumstances. Even if he's on his line and the striker's running in on scoring goal, bearing in mind it's a 5-a-side pitch, so it doesn't take long for you to get closed down. He's gonna. Sometimes you'll get away with it. Other times you get caught and we'll concede goals. And some games we got peppered because they were doing the same thing, and he was whilst he's going through the learning curve. But because of non-competitive football and people didn't see beyond the end of their nose, they just wanted to win on the day. But everyone's like, no, this is part of development of the player. Fast forwarding 7-8 years, every team he's played for, even the one he's playing for now, I've now realised they've got a goalkeeper that when the defender's getting pressed and he's facing his own goalkeeper, he doesn't have to kick it out. He doesn't have to clear it, get rid of it. All these words, they're sending it to the goalkeeper. And he's able to get it and play. And some keepers are not comfortable with that. He is more than comfortable playing as a sweeper keeper. And that's due to the schooling that Stell was part of, which is why Sophie mentions it. Stell was part of it, and the coaches that were with him before developed those goalkeepers to do that because they saw that when he is eventually playing competitive football and no longer is part of non-competitive, he'll be ready. And now he's playing competitive football. He's ready as a goalkeeper to play with his feet, as well as, of course, being good with his hands. He is able to, and unfortunately, too many people in the non-competitive football just want to win games. It's not about developing a player. It should always be about the development of a player. I don't know, Stell, if you want. I just wanted to
No, that's true. That's
context to what we were discussing.
Whenever the ball goes off the pitch for a goal kick, I tell the goalie, run with the ball at your feet. Don't pick it up. Whenever the ball goes in for a throw-in or goes anywhere, pass it. Don't throw it. Take the hits. I had top players leaving the team because I don't know what I'm doing. You're costing us games. We lose 8-0 every week because the goalie's not allowed to pick it up. 3-4 years later, my team won the league, the cup, every tournament we went into, we cleaned up. and my man of the match every game was the goalie, pretty much.
Oh.
So it's like any young player you develop, take the hits when they're young to teach them the hardest thing to teach, which is to play with the ball at your feet. That's the hardest thing to teach anyone. Dribbling,
You think
playing
is
under
it
pressure of
difficult?
someone trying to tackle you.
Still, is it difficult to like learn that when you're in varsity like league, like because
When you're older,
I've yeah, when you're older, is it like to start?
fucked.
Is it
Fucked.
yeah?
Too
Am I
late.
fucked? Yeah, because I can see like I'm so like technically behind because I'm a goalkeeper myself in my varsity league. For my
You can learn it. You can learn it, but it's easier to learn to deal with pressure when you're younger than to do it now.
yeah,
Now
I
it's
know
not.
like
You're thinking a lot of
because
things. When you're young, all you're thinking is football, the match, my
Yeah, at
team.
15,
When you're older,
16,
you're thinking
17.
bills,
Yeah,
my
17,
girlfriend,
18.
my car. I've got to be somewhere to pick up someone. Your brain's not there.
But now he does it without thinking. Look, I've got this picture. I don't mind showing you guys. I've got this picture of him. If you look at it here, playing football.
Where'd you pull that
Every
from?
every hour. Yeah, I have him here, man. Every picture you see on here of him is him with the ball at his feet. But you see what I mean? It's like not making saves. That one there is about to make save. But this one here, ball at his feet, passing, ball at his feet. It's always because they use him as a team. Sometimes to relieve pressure, they go back, bring the other to your position, bait the opposition to come up to then create the space afterwards to go and attack them. So it's a great outlet to have for the team. And I see it now. At the time, maybe even I was a bit short-sighted. I'd be like, fucking hell, we're
This
losing
is
so
why
badly.
Vicario.
But there was the development.
This is why Vicario sometimes some of his passing out from the back he gets caught. It's because I know that wasn't drilled into him at a young age. I know it's not.
Hugo Lloris was a perfect example, wasn't he? He was a baseline keeper. He was part of the old school. Great shot stopper, but ball at his feet. You just knew there was an echo in the stadium that where we'd all be like, but it's like, and then you get the new generation, Edison, Allison, and all these other boys that have all. Pepe Reina was the first one, if you remember, guys. Pepe Reina was the first goalkeeper that I remember to date. That was
Pepe
so
Reina.
good with his feet.
Yeah,
Pepe Reina for Liverpool.
Because the Spanish started it.
The Spanish and
started
Portuguese, they were the first. They were the first to start it off. They were the first. Even Donnarumma, for as great as he is, he developed to become better, but he's not brilliant. Pepe Reina was the first goalkeeper that I remember. 5'10".
I think Donnarumma just tall. He's not a good goalie.
Yeah, but he's saying, but Pepe Reina is not
He
even
looked awful
6'4".
yesterday against Arsenal.
It's really weird, but when he plays for Italy, he transforms himself. And for PSG, I don't know, man. I just think that was a bad move. I think he should have stayed either in Italy, at Milan, where he was, or for me, he should have come to the Prem. Going to, for me, PSG. What is it about them, man? Like, what is it about the PSG? There's
Nothing about them now. Nothing about them now.
They weren't great when they had those brilliant players. Imagine now. I don't
I think
get the
they're in
hype.
the rebuilding stage though, so like I'm not judging
By the way,
them.
I don't want to take away what Arsenal did yesterday. Arsenal went out there, did the job, dealt with him early, and I don't want to take anything away from their performance.
Do you know what Arsenal are? Do you know what
work.
Arsenal are right now? I know it's a bit off topic. What do you think? I think Arsenal look like prime old school Mourinho teams.
Do you want me to?
But the glazing, I'm gonna get out of here now. I hate when the glaze.
Go on, Sabella. Go on.
No, you can go on, but I just like
Mourinho teams were defensively rock solid, unbelievably difficult to break down, but going forward, they had just enough to win the game.
Did you see in the weekend?
Mourinho used to play chess, and Arteta actually.
Yeah, but you know what, Sabella, man, the fortune,
good
fortune rewards the braves.
And he got the win.
I know what you're saying. They won it in injury time, but at the end of the day, man, some games are going to be like that. You win it last minute, and fortune rewards the brave. But what I would say is this: I tell you how I know Arsenal. There's a change in Arsenal for the better for them. At the final whistle against Man City, when Man City grabbed that draw, there was between the players, managers, and stuff like that. There's a rivalry. Remember the Man United Arsenal back in the day when every time Roy Keane and Vieira used to face up, you used to thought this is going to be a game to watch because it's all going to happen. there's a rivalry that's developing between Man City and Arsenal, and that's because Man City see Arsenal as that rival.
I say that, but they still are rival. They still are rival.
I say what I mean a rival, rivals for the biggest prize.
Nah, they're not better than us. Don't say that.
I think they're boring to watch. To be fair,
I'm saying, no. What I'm saying to you,
yeah.
no. I don't think they're
The season
boring to
before,
watch.
the season before last, when they were attacking, that's when they were really good to watch. But now they just got boring and more boring and more boring. It's just, yeah.
No, I think
they've closed the gap on City by doing that, haven't they? That's the
I think what's happening now. I agree with you. I get what you're saying totally. They had the excitement and more attacking, free-flowing football, but I think now there's a tenacity that they've added to their game that I think once you've got that as part of your core, the exciting stuff can happen because they've still got those players to develop that excitement football. It would that exciting football going forward. I think now they've just got more like almost like a league winning tenacity about it. They can grind results. There's different ways that what I like about Arsenal is that they've got different ways of winning a game. They set up according to what the opposition. The moment they had injuries, they had suspension, they adjusted, and they went out there and done a job. They can play exciting and they can play boring football, get the result. What they're doing, they're adjusting the way they play to achieve the ultimate goal, which is getting the 3 points or getting the points so they're adding to that. So it's like we're not pretty, but we can still get the result. And I like that about teams. There's not always you can't always do the same. You can't always get the result doing the same thing game by game for 38 games a season in the Premier League and then in Europe and stuff. You have to have different ways. And that's sometimes we've been critical here about Ange Postecoglou. Sometimes we just want him to tweak it to get the result done. If you got Van de Ven injured or suspended, don't play a high line when you haven't got quick defenders at the back to adjust it. Drop 10, 15 yards and it will benefit us. You see what I mean? That little things like that. Sometimes you got to tweak it depending on your position that you're playing. If the opposition is better than you or it's going through a better moment than you and you've got injuries or suspension, you need to tweak it. And that's what I think Arsenal have done. They've adjusted well to different situations that have happened to them this season and still got themselves a result. They've got tenacity about them that even though Leicester got them to 2-2, they still had enough about them to go ahead and winning. And what I saw tonight with Juventus going to Leipzig, 10 men with 15 minutes to go, they go 2-1 down. They had that thing where they tweaked it a little bit. They went and won. Down to 10 men for 15 minutes. They went over and won it in injury time. That's a mentality, man. And that's the mentality that we need to get at our club at Tottenham. I think if we can show that, it shows a sign of growth. It shows signs that we can adjust to different situations, suspensions and injuries. And we can tweak things and still achieve.
Can Ange adjust?
But you need the players as well, man. To do that, you need because if you lose Van de Ven, Romero, and Maddison, we'll struggle, man. We'll struggle.
I think he can adjust. I think he just doesn't do it as often as we would like him to do it.
Why though, man? Why? In your opinion, why is that? Is he stubborn?
I feel like,
or is he just trying to set? He wants to set an imprint and say, then we can adjust it afterwards. Like, right now, I want to implement my way.
That's what I think it is. I think it's the second. I think he wants to just force his way, get everyone to know his way, how he wants it done, and then once they've got that down, then he can slightly tweak it without it affecting it too much. But again, Ange is Ange, isn't it? It's just, he's just a funny guy.
At the end of the day, we can't compare ourselves to right in this moment. In this moment, the truth has to be said. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, they're on a different trajectory and at a different level to where we are. We are in that second, third. You know, we are where we are, and we're fighting with our teams. Are fighting for us to get closer to the Man City, which is where, of course, in my opinion, is where I'd like to see Tottenham. But maybe not everyone believes that we can achieve that, or maybe we're thinking too far ahead of ourselves. Right now, I said it on Monday, we are in that. The best we can hope for with this team, in my opinion, is fourth place in this season. All right, that's not to say that we can't close that gap eventually if we want to, if we have the ambition of the club to do so. But right now, we're in that 4th and 7th bracket. And that's the best we can do with this crop of players in this squad. That's the truth. If we can then ultimately win something in Europe or in the domestic cup, then you know what? We've had a good season, in my opinion. With this team and with this squad, if we want to develop them to do better, then we have to be consistent and we have to get the players in that are right for our club, and we have to start hitting a bit of success with the players that we bring in, because right now, especially with our forwards, we've been more missed than hit. You know what I mean? And we need to improve on that. And that's the recruitment. They need to study those players better.
No.
Listen, we've got to wrap it up, guys.
Sorry, man, I've gone on a tangent here. It's a fan show, but we kind of like, I know. When I come on, it always goes a bit like mad, but it's good, man. I said I wanted to come on and speak about Vicario, but we'll leave that for another night. I still got away with one tonight. No, I'm joking.
I
I'm not.
refuse to talk about Vicario. I refuse. Big up, mate.
I think he gets too excited.
Huh?
I think he gets too excited when he gets on the pitch sometimes. I think he needs to calm down a bit. I think
I
think that's what I think it is. I think he's just so excited to be. You know how he's talking about? I'd walk to Spurs from Italy or whatever. He's just so excited to be at the club. He just needs to calm it down on the pitch and take a bit of time a little bit.
Do you think he deserved to? Do you think he deserved to wear that?
Wears his hearts on his sleeve, man. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And we don't have enough. I don't think we have enough of that in our team. I'd love to see a little bit more.
We're not talking about Vicario. I'm gonna.
I'm talking about the players that wear heart on their sleeve, that fight for the shirt. He's that guy. I really do think he loves it at Spurs and he cares. But I just want to see a little bit more players that
composure.
When the gun gets tough, to grab that shirt and.
Iggy, do you think he deserved to wear that armband, that captain's armband? Last week against Carabao.
I'm not a huge fan of goalkeepers I love goalkeepers. You guys know that it's one area.
I think it was like
no. We're gonna.
I don't think he should be captain. No, if to answer your question, I prefer an outfield player to be a centre back or a centre mid. I like them guys because they're very
over Davis, which is kind of like, I don't know. I felt some type of way about that.
No, Davis is Stelios' favourite player.
Listen. Every 2 weeks we do this show. In 2 weeks, come on, Isabella. We'll talk about Davies for as long as you want.
And Richarlison, if Richarlison makes it back, when Richarlison makes it back, because we don't know when it's coming back. When Richarlison comes back, and he starts hitting form and bangs in the goals, come back and cook us, man.
Listen, everyone. Thanks for watching tonight's show. Big up to all of you. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. we go live. Post-match show. Ferenc Varossi, I think, or Ferencváros, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hungarian team versus Spurs. 10 p.m. Come and join us. We'll dissect it, debate it, see how we go. Thank you to everyone that came on the channel tonight. Well done for putting your cameras on and actually putting up a debate or just talking about whatever you want to talk about. We'll be back tomorrow, as I've said. Other than that, thanks as always. Next Wednesday is going to be North London is ours. And then the following Wednesday is going to be the call-in show. So every 2 weeks, North London is ours, and every other week, it's going to be the call-in show. So Mario and I are going to rotate it. So every 2 weeks, you get a different show. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for tonight, man.
Nice one,
Thank
boys
you.
and girls. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Come on, you Spurs.
Weekend, not weekend. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie.